Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
You're wicked. You're wicked.
You're wicked.
You're a wicked boy.
Good night, everyone. Let me see me clearly. Let me hear me clearly. You see and hear me clearly. Welcome to another episode of Extra Class, episode number 336. I trust that everyone who is in the hearing of my voice and seeing my face, not only you but your family, friends, you are doing well in these challenging and unprecedented times. Peeps, night.
Good night, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well and you are looking forward to a restful weekend. I guess it was a stressful week, but all is well and it will get better.
Face shine to a DJ, I sweat.
Let me not sweat. I'm in bed.
You beard in a aisle. Peeps, be there. Yeah, that's what I say. It's another Friday. Another week come and gone. You understand? More put on. You have a productive week and make some money and then sitting there. Big up to all of the people them who celebrate birthdays in November. You know what I think go. Especially the Scorpios them. Stinging. You understand what I say? You understand? We don't really trouble people about the people. Trouble with them and get. You know what I mean? One sting. Someone another heel back ankle and them place.
Undercover sting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people. So some things going on in the country. You know what I think? The COVID situation is still a thing. And what's this? And we just share some of my numbers and before we get the thing moving and grooving and thing. Hold on.
You know numbers them go down?
Numbers them go down, yes, but you know one thing was the country kind of open back on a little level.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know say
People
will get overtaken by the devil.
Not I think they just get too excited.
And them do folly. And then if you want to
Hit way?
turn around one way, straight not how you want to turn around.
That's good.
Straighten yourself so you can't complain, sir.
You still have a complaint about something else, huh?
You see, so 117 new cases, 15 more deaths.
The deaths are one day?
I will leave a death that, yeah. Said we.
Span?
No, we don't know. You see, I know. Jamaica on Thursday recorded 117 new COVID-19 cases from 1,417 samples tested, increasing the total confirmed cases to 89,466, with 27,856 being active. A lot of active cases, and those are the ones on record, innit? Yeah? The country's positivity rate is currently 11.5%. Of the new cases, 48 are men and 68 are women, as per usual. Yeah, that's you know more women about than man, so the maths then tell us more women stand a likely a chance to become infected and thing. So of the new cases, 48 are men and 68 are women with ages ranging from 8 months to 97 years and thing. Meanwhile, 15 more Jamaicans have died as a result of COVID-19, pushing the death tally to 2,272. And each of the fatalities which occurred from March 25 to November 22 were in the parish of this wrong. I think this would something wrong about this. The info wrong is about that. That. Let me move on because that data just threw me out. Lady, what go on? I see a missed call from you. I saw your thing set up, man. Yeah, man. Oh, you know what I think, I just start stream as a matter of fact. Alright, grandma, be safe. Look over. Yeah, Rosie, say her son will say a baby shower tomorrow. So she had to eat some things. No, as the whole COVID thing continue to take root and fester, the whole vaccine thing, I should say, the vaccine mandate is a touchy topic, a delicate situation, a thing. Brother, I'm really out of focus on this. You see me?
Yeah, it look really way off than normal.
Yeah, true. I don't know what I'm going. But you try to sit there, out of focus on the points, but it's alright. They know me look. And thing. NCB did issue a thing, say them people them have to show out. Yeah. And then sit there.
You have to take you back.
Give and take back. So NCB withdraws COVID-19 test directive issued to employees. National Commercial Bank has reportedly withdrawn the circular instructing that its unvaccinated employees start submitting a negative PCR COVID-19 test result in order to attend work. So the requirement had applied to NCB employees engaged in face-to-face and remote work, especially the tellers them. Mm-hmm. So Paul Stewart, president of the NCB Staff Association, said that the financial institution withdrew the circular Tuesday morning after the group issued a stern warning ahead of a meeting at the Ministry of Labour to discuss the matter. In that warning, he said the Staff Association told the bank's officials that if they try to do anything outside of not awaiting the outcome of the meeting, we cannot guarantee normalcy in the workplace. So, I guess the staff would have won round 2.
If NCB normal and you wait 10 hours, you imagine if there's no normalcy.
Boy, I tell you, ever call them customer care, they not care.
Teacher, you ever go, they go tell you yourself.
No. We never had that.
Until you have done that, you have no quabs.
The last time I got there, it was like, they go do that something there. And it was appointment. Some people have been up there face.
When they say what?
Yeah, but now I'm my appointment and they say, send me the teacher. Yeah, so we never wait in their life. And the only time that we actually go back since COVID. Anything online, brother. But they don't care.
When we did go do that, right? Son in a beat me up for that, man. Right, I'm lucky thing we did block. Who don't get no blocker? I'm blocker.
What if I want to customer care? I don't think they care. I tell you the truth.
It's crazy.
Say I'm a pin.
Are you still
a pinless one over there? When I call the people, I don't forget for hours, man. I don't have time for it for hours, brother.
About 2 hours, they call like how we get to jail.
First thing, I tweet them, man. I tweet and tag them. And they run in for my inbox, man. That's me for inbox them. My inbox, the dog there, man. They want to say some things, and see? And I do what they say me to do. I still wait hours. Then I link them back. I never tweet them this and I inbox them. Because I say, alright, they need to reach out already. Then give me one number so I call it. Yeah. It come like I hold Jamaica call the set number because I know I don't get through. I don't have time for that, sis, man. So right now, I can't add no beneficiary to NCB account because I'm already. So that's a go on right there. Yeah, right. So, Digicel have also been involved in the whole vaccine situation, mandate type of thing. Yeah, man. And then sitting there. Digicel vaccine fight scheduled for court on the 17th of November, so an employee sue them. Yeah, man. Sitting listening for this, so I go on. I'm still can't find a real article.
When I see that article,
yeah, man. But really, man, look at this.
A cookie mama call them.
What NCB or Digicel?
Rough cookie and a lie. It's very rough. But seriously though, when you call these places for customer care, it's like them not care for true.
Tell us they not care when I listen.
Majority of these things, man. When you call them, it's rough.
They have to read it off with my phone. The application, well, so as we said, one employee took them to court, seeking an injunction and them something. So the application brought by a senior data specialist who is seeking an injunction to bar his employer, Digicel Jamaica Limited, from implementing a mandatory COVID-19 vaccinate or test policy has been set for a hearing on November 17. It will be interesting to see the court treat with this. An adjournment was granted on Thursday when the application was heard in the chambers at the Supreme Court. The judge, in granting an adjournment, ordered that the defendant, Digicel, settle legal representation. So this is an liar. Attorney at law Sundiata Gibbs represented Digicel on Thursday, and Dorich White, the claimant, is challenging Digicel's policy on the grounds that it is in breach of his contract and constitutional rights. White, who is being represented by attorney at law Adrian Christie, is asking the court to grant an injunction before the substantive claims are heard. He states in court documents that Digicel should be restrained from enforcing the policy in any manner prejudicial to his employment. Digicel had advised its employees in a letter dated September 29 that they had until October 15 to be vaccinated or provide a COVID-19 PCR test every 2 weeks. White, who has been employed at Digicel since 2015, said he decided not to take the vaccine because of religious reasons. He is also not convinced about the safety of vaccines.
So you alone and carry them what?
I don't know if nobody else involved but a female named Carl.
Okay.
You understand?
Your name is Winsome.
So, and thing. And the thing is that, I mean, you're entitled to your choice, as I'm saying, sis. So, if you feel like other way you want to deal with it, you deal with it that way. That's still, you see me? And as I always tell us with the vaccine thing, it should be a man's decision.
It's your choice.
You understand? I mean, obviously, based on how things that I know, there will be ramifications and consequences based on your choice, but it should be your choice.
It should be.
That's what I think wholeheartedly. You understand? I could be wrong about that, but some feel it. But speaking about that, remember the government, them say they on a vaccine mandate, you know. But there was a good thing I go on the King's House side there. And I golden triangle like. Yeah, man. Battle royal at King's House over vax or test backlash. I think I get sticky. The Jamaica Civil Service Association is awaiting word from the Office of the Services Commission on the employment status of workers at King's House who were sent home recently on the grounds that they had failed to prove to their employers that they were vaccinated against COVID-19. So JCSA President O'Neill Grant said the action was taken against the workers after they were deemed to have committed an infraction. The union has contested the grounds on which the workers were disciplined, arguing that the vaccine or test mandate was inconsistent with their classification of civil servants. However, King's House has countered that the workers are personal servants of the Governor General. Sir Patrick, that sounds slavish, brother.
I don't like the word.
Yeah, son. That not sound good. This what I go on. Let me read that again, because that deep in there, brother.
Hi, namesake.
However, King's House has countered that the workers are personal servants to the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen, and not civil servants.
I like that word. That one word they kind of...
Personal servants is a helper.
Became his helper.
This is an absurdity because you can't call an accountant who is there to keep the books of King's House part of the personal staff, Grant said, adding that the JCSA viewed the declaration with disdain. The government of Jamaica does not have a vaccine mandate, and as far as I am concerned and aware, King's House is not a separate state unto itself. King's House is a part of the governance of this country. The trade unionist said that at least 28 posts at King's House were part of the civil service. Grant said that personal staff at King's House are constitutionally defined as those persons who are appointed by the Parliament after consultation with the leader of the opposition and Prime Minister. Civil servants are not appointed that way. As far as I am aware, those persons that they have separated were not appointed to King's House using that mechanism to appoint the personal staff of the Governor General. Grant further argued, they are appointed pursuant to the Establishment Act of the Government of Jamaica, not on the advice or direction of the Governor General in this instance. This does sound good. This does look much more 28 posts. Are 28 people there? No? Bombard. There's no choice of the vaccine. Everyone is going to end up taking it if you want to go on and play. No man, everyone now going to take it yes, but some more people are going to take it.
No, I get what Ace is
yeah,
saying.
Yeah, me get what I say. Right.
So wherever it is.
Yeah, so if you want to
go on a plane,
go on a plane, if you want to go to work, right.
Sit on there in a restaurant
right.
over here.
But some people
is.
right, yes, me get that. But some people now take it still. You understand? So I don't say anything, but there will never be 100% compliance with vaccination, with vaccine. Never. Will never happen. You understand? In a no country, me not think. So, well, me not say that still.
No,
There's some communist country.
Yeah, some country where you have to.
And thing. But even so, look, there's many of those Marxist states, people kind of wise up and rise up. A places like North Korea where they think kind of still iron fist like.
Tight.
Where some people now to voice them concerns and opinions still. You see? So, whilst you still have Marxist state, communist states, people now are start, you know what I mean? Push back.
But let me answer this though, brother. Choice, correct?
Right.
Alright, but what about when establishments make the choice? Restaurants, whatever.
They make for them choice too.
Yeah.
Right, so they make for them choice, so you make yours. So it's a
fly
choice
on a
thing.
plane, there again.
Right, so you decide to take it. If a man them say them plane an X, then what you going to do? Build your own plane. No, but that's how I think I'm going on. You know how me feel about it, you know, but that's the reality in I think. You understand? If you say you not take it, fine. But if a man say him have him establishment and in order for you to come in there, you have to take it. Then you just can't go in there.
Not to go
so
there.
if you have a choice, then him have a choice. Because he in business, just like your body. You get what I say? So it's all about choice. See, and as me done tell you, say, I am of the view that it should be a personal decision for each person. Nobody should be coerced or forced. But if you look at anything, that's how I think I go. You understand? So it's all about choice and which choice you're willing to take and decide to take. And if you're willing to live by the choice that you
that's
take.
Your thing.
And so we live and die by the choices we make, I suppose. You understand now?
True.
Alright, me personally, I'm not really foreign-minded like that. But based on all the growth of the channel and especially the interview section, there are going to be times when...
You might have to.
No, Digital is a private company, my brother. See, there are going to be times when, some artists who I want to interview, them kind of cross the waters. See? So we'd have to look at some things and say, yo, what go on? It's either I decide to go interview them Monday, or I decide to go interview them Monday.
Choice
you understand what I say? Or even to keep where some people link up as a teacher where you can cover this and me have to go sit down and look at it and say, yo, it's either me I go do it or me not do it. It is my choice. You understand what I say? So, and I like me, where if me never go to America, it's neither here nor there for me. You understand what I say? Some of we as Jamaicans is the holy land, the promised land of liberty, the home of the brave and the slave.
If Amazon shut down and shipping something shut down, you go on because you have the choice to access everything that you want while still here.
Right, if things have to affect my work, no, but me not go want because
just
it's the end of the world for me. Me then if it means that there are things that I need business wise, then that's something me then sit down and think about. But for go America go bliver for work, you understand what I say? It is not, some people will sell out them family,
friend
and think to get a visa with a dependent. You understand? If we have to go to America, go do some work one time and come back our yard, fine.
I mean, we don't have to go. roll up couple
Yeah, man,
artists
because all the sweet cocoa and them man, they will live at them part there. Any day, we don't want to go interview them if a chat opportunity come, but you understand?
Hi, Lydia.
But at the end of the day, no guy can say, yo, you have to do this to do that. You understand? You know, we don't take program them way this. So that's a certain thing go still. But as we say, we live and die by the choices we make.
Yep.
Yeah, the person would say that sensible.
Sometimes which choice come back to bite we know yours?
Because the truth is, people have taken the vaccine and have adverse reactions and possibly would have died because of said adverse reaction. So we can't go round that neither. You understand? Whilst many have taken the vaccine and fit like figure same way. With any vaccines, from the beginning of time, there will be people who suffer adverse reactions. You understand what I mean? So when it comes down to things, is again, it is all a matter of the choices. So if you say you're not take it, you, I suppose, will have to be willing to live and die by the choice that you make. So whatever the consequences are, Zane, or the ramifications are, you will have to treat with that. Because of that choice you decide to make. You see me? Auntie. Yeah, man. I just saw a vaccine thing. I know from day one we never shy away from the topic.
You see what James wants, eh?
What James said. Remember your daughter is there. She's an American citizen, me a Jamaican. You understand? So, I mean, I feel her place other my place. I had my thing still. Check. Right. Big up, brother, what you deal with? So I just say thing. You see James, I feel her yard, you know. At the Shiban. You understand? You see me? I fear a farm, not my farm. I had my farm there. You understand? I fear a farm. So, you see? Auntie.
Yes, many of these artists who are not public about it have been traveling to the vaccine.
Long time. We know what that is. Remember, so we out on the streets, so you know what thing go. We shall be there now. Yes, so that I go on a king's house. And look, slavery type of vibe me get from it. Like, I mean, I love it. Yeah, it's a personal servant.
I guess maybe that's the term they use.
Me not love it. Me is not a personal servant like that. Yeah, so the way I said,
personal servant.
No. Do you think the GSL should force vaccine even if you don't have... I don't think nobody should force vaccine, Dre. You understand? I don't think nobody should force vaccine, but if you work at Digicel and them say you have to take a vaccine, you decide if you want to work or you want to go home. Because based on the laws, there's nothing in law that prevents a private entity from saying X. You understand? As far as I know. So, as again, you have to live and die by the choices. Seeing, are they being forced or coerced? Absolutely. Do I like that? Absolutely not. But I just a nature, a dragon right now, brother. You see me? You look like you don't want to act so.
It's just each person
making their choice. I smile and I look up in her ear like, you have a question.
It's just each person making their choice.
Is it?
No, that's the same thing I was going to say. Is it not forced then if the company makes this choice and I make this choice,
right.
Of course, me I get
forced, right?
Well, again, as you say, you live and die by the choices you make.
Because the truth is that some people did take a vaccine and some now take it. So some people make a one choice and some people make a next choice. It's just, as I say, it's just a nature dragon. You see? And when it come on to these things, we just split the euro if you split, you understand? And I like, so we are taking on side and I said, no, your choice you make, but you have to understand, say, based on the thing, this brother here decides, say, he can't go to court. Good. You understand?
So you make clean choice.
So I just saw a thing, you are a servant, teach, civil servant. Yes, so, I guess. But me not a man personal servant, brother. You understand? Yeah, man. They don't accept religious and medical exemptions. Yes, they do. Because most of the mandates that I've heard about and read, they say that you have to provide evidence if it's a medical exemption or you put forward a case if it's a religious exemption you're looking. So
what would the religious exemption be?
You have some denominations and some faiths where them not believe in putting nothing in your body like that. So I suppose I don't know which one of them, but I'm just assuming. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, Roman Catholic people, they don't believe in using contraceptives, you know. Yeah, man, skin to skin, man.
Yeah, should have killed me, brother.
I just tell you. Actually, never come on a geo class when me I teach reasons for high birth rate in some developing countries and low birth rate in developed countries. That's something we talk about. You understand? Culture, religion, them things there. You never pass through none of them time. Okay. But you don't need to go Roman Catholic to have sex without condom. Yeah, big man, what kind of excuse you want? So one local thing go on where a couple of years ago there was some adjustment to the Road Traffic Act where you were now in a position where you could be fined like 10,000 for your speeding ticket and then something. Yeah. Zane, I think the previous amendment before that was 206. Now, one little thing go on. So the court, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, ruled that the current ticketing system should be put on pause and revert to the levels from 06. But Parliament convened today, which is not a day when Parliament normally convene to do a little thing.
Oh, boy.
Lower House passes Road Traffic Act amendments. Yeah? So the House of Representatives this afternoon, Friday, November 5th, 2021, passed amendments to the Road Traffic Act to allow law enforcement to continue issuing traffic tickets with the current fines after a court blocked their imposition. Remember, so the biggest court, the highest court in the land, you know, is Parliament. You know. That is...
They move swiftly.
Hold on, no. And I am so... Let me put all the camera over you. I am so happy that you brought up that point. Because this is my thing. There have been things affecting this country from the devil was a boy. See? And them still affect the country now. The devil turned big man. And nothing has been done in Parliament to treat with these things. But the court made a ruling since week and a day or two after emergency Parliament was convened and amendments made. So you see now that our politicians are very selective in the things that they are interested in treating with. That is the lesson right here, so.
It was quick. Make it breeze off a little bit.
That is what the opposition is saying. So, what's with the haste, man?
That was quick.
See? So, let me continue read. But I am so happy you brought up that point. The amendments move to address a supposed gap in law after Supreme Court Judge Sonia Bertram-Linton on Wednesday granted an injunction limiting fines to what was set down in 2006. However, the opposition questioned the haste and what they see as the chaotic nature in which the bill was being pushed through. But you know it's very easy for the government to push through bills. No, man, for the government to push through bills because they have a significant majority. So all they need is more yea than nays, you know.
And naturally they get it.
In which the bill was being pushed through an emergency sitting of the House this afternoon. So in a rare Friday sitting of the lower house, Transport Minister Robert Montague says the Amendment Act will address the penalties in the Act despite the injunction by the courts. So then why we need to have courts then? Parliament just need to run everything. So if a court do that, and in a less than 48 hours, you have emergency meeting.
And show that and pull back this.
The government has rushed to Parliament to correct a seeming legislative error. The new bill is expected to allow the police to continue issuing traffic tickets with the current fixed penalties. Very high penalties.
Yeah.
But that is one aspect of it. The thing is, as you rightly said, they were very quick to treat with this. And there have been so many lingering issues in this country from a legislative point of view, a judicial point of view, a judiciary point of view, and none of these things have been addressed in eons and in less than 48 hours,
This.
emergency meeting, amendments. But are we run go vote for them again, brother? And jump on and put a dog in a green shirt, and a goat in an orange shirt, and a donkey in an orange shirt, and then sit me, and pot cover and bell, and then sit me, and drink rum and ring
goat.
bell and lick pot cover and curry goat and let me tell you. And I understand certain aspects, and I'm just saying, treat with everything
In this urgency.
with this urgency. The country would be a much better place.
See emergency.
Warrior Star, big up yourself. So you know they can't do without their ticket money.
Oh boy.
So them need them money. Take out them honey.
Whatever.
To build 4-tiered topsy-turvy chocolate cake.
Yeah, that cake. You like get to buy cake yet?
No, I mean that's a chocolate cake fan neither. You understand?
Also, it is over 3 billion.
But no, I don't really familiarize myself with all of the aspects of the story, and I think it's the whole traffic accident
Okay.
situation. Do I?
Right.
So we can't even speak to the technicalities of it. What I'm speaking about right now is the urgency in which it was treated with, versus other things that have been stagnant for donkey years. You understand? And poor people still cry tears. But my Ruel salary have to sort out. And I need traffic ticket to pay Ruel, brother. You understand? The moment you go supermarket, then can't find a $5.5 million Ruel make a year time, It's not $11 million many people have been saying. The $11 million is the sum total for Ruel salary and the acting principal. But you see, we hear things sometimes and we just run with it. But Ruel don't earn $11 million per year. I don't know how we feel about it, but we just have to deal with the facts of the matter. You understand? He earns 5 point something mil, and the next brother earn parallel salary of the same thing, so combined, that is it. And thing. So you don't think that.
Sweetie Coleman. Hi Warrior, what's up?
That means we can get crime bill easy. And as up with the crime bill thing, I don't think you would have a crime bill. I think you would adjust and modify legislation that exists already to help fight crime. But to say a crime bill
per se,
yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, when it comes down to crime, there are many different pieces of legislation at work, at play. So many of them need modification, many of them need to be thrown out and rewritten totally. You understand? So just like one bill for crime, there are too many different branches and routes at play when they come on to the judiciary and security, I suppose. Man suspected to be supplier of guns and ammunition to gangs arrested. So the St. Catherine North Police have arrested a man suspected of being a major supplier of guns and ammunition to criminal elements across the division. The man, whose identity is being withheld, was nabbed during a security operation in the Spanish Town area on Wednesday night. Reports are that the man was apprehended in Tars Meadows in the old capital. He was allegedly found in possession of 50 rounds of ammunition. A subsequent search of his house in Cumberland, Portmore, resulted in the alleged seizure of an additional 100 rounds of illegal ammunition. A woman who was also at the premises was detained for questioning. The man, who is now under the microscope for allegedly selling illegal guns and ammunition to gangs across St. Catherine, is also to face questioning by police investigators. He remains in custody. You understand? And interesting.
Get caught in there.
Then I find him with 50 rounds, and then guy I'm gonna find 100 more, 150 that.
Find him.
First I find him. I'm lucky if you find so much gunshot. But that way you feel look bad. So there was a little thing. I want to listen to my dad this morning now. And Smooth link me. Smooth man.
You know when I saw last
Top cup thing come to your mind. Yeah, man. Him link me and I said, teach what I go on. If me not hear one look how honors I go on with the police situation. So that's something you got to do some look research and thing. So there's a little thing we must go on a Santa Cruz courthouse. Isn't it? So judge and police sergeant intense court drama. This is last time we did the episode what we did episode 66. No, yeah, season 66, episode 6 of Jamaica is not a rape case. Episode 69 with that. The season 69 brother. A standoff between a judge and a police sergeant created a few moments of tension in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court yesterday, resulting in the cop being warned for contempt.
Naturally.
The kerfuffle had its foundation in the sergeant's refusal to handcuff his colleague, a constable, following an order from the parish judge, Alwyn Smith. Sources say Smith had been presiding over a matter which was to go to trial at the Black River Courthouse on Wednesday, where the constable, the investigating officer in the matter, was absent. Attorney at law Thomas Levine, who represented the constable in court yesterday, explained that his client had another matter at the Children's Court in Balaclava, which clashed with the case in Black River. Levine said that Smith issued a bench warrant for the constable following his no-show and a miscommunication in informing the court of his presence in Balaclava. Levine said the constable was yesterday morning being escorted into court by his colleagues when Smith ordered that the policeman be handcuffed.
Why?
Probably a show of bravado and ego, I don't know. The judge's order was reportedly disobeyed by the sergeant, who, it is alleged, uttered his displeasure with the order outside the Santa Cruz courthouse. The sergeant in charge of the court commented loudly, "No officer in a uniform now come in a no court in a handcuff."
I like him.
He said this outside the doors of the courtroom. It was so loud and booming that it could have been heard in the courtroom as well as by members of the public, to include accused persons attending court and others outside. So quick then twist that. The attorney said Smith asked who made the comment, which led to the sergeant being summoned. He admitted to making the comment. The judge inquired about his business being at court. He said he was the court sergeant, but he was not fully in uniform, meaning he did not have his cap with him, said Levine. The lawyer said that Smith then warned the sergeant for a contempt of court. He said the constable was brought into court in handcuffs before being allowed to have his hands freed upon being placed in the prisoner's dock. I made submission to the judge as to what transpired yesterday, Wednesday, when he was absent. I indicated, given the circumstances, it was a lapse of judgment on his part. However, it was not meant to be disrespectful, said Levine. The constable was then given bail without condition to appear the matter set for a trial in January.
I wonder where constable do.
When there?
When do?
He not do nothing.
No, why is he appearing before the court?
Because he is the investigating officer in a case.
And he failed to turn up because
right, he did have another
murder.
Case.
And the judge...
A Balaclava.
So why the...
I guess miscommunication. Many wars have been started because of miscommunication of this. Yo, but I have to sit down and figure. Oh, what I got to understand is that some court officials, they kind of, they're going to go slow after. But in St. Elizabeth and St. Mary, we don't know the St. Mary people have dropped in still. You understand? We don't know if
I don't see that.
So, we're not really sure. You understand? One day if I inspect a Taylor. You don't want to inspect a name Taylor Richie? What do you know about him? Yeah, laugh. So, that's how the cookie crumble sometimes, yeah, man. Look here, everybody have them ego and they're sitting there most of the time.
Sir?
All the judge need to do a find out what go on.
Why the officer not turn up to court?
Right. But the officer should then probably communicate to the court saying, the court to them and next court. Because you know, we say, efficient enough to show.
There's
say,
not communication.
right.
There's no communication between. So you find
everybody's a single entity by themselves.
Everybody's a highland. I swear.
The man say no officer in a uniform, in a coat,
coat.
in a handcuffs, sir.
I cannot get where sergeant to come from, sir.
But the sergeant, Nina whisper, brother.
Sergeant attack out. That attack out and chest.
Sergeant sound like a me.
The sergeant attack out and chest, sir.
The judges versus ice cream team.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
The judge could have stayed the warrant and not have it executed.
Could I do that?
Teacher, the thing with the ego thing, you know, sir. Oh, boy.
But me I wonder if a concept to still a regular thing, you know. Cause it's with that story sometimes.
You have
we
to find
quick
out,
to say some things,
but
you
you
know,
have to
brother.
find out the backstory.
Ain't good as do it.
A regular, me see.
You're good.
No, me get that. But if it is that he was appearing at another case.
Right. But me I say no, Judge, we don't say, eh?
Yeah, me
I know
see.
first or second. I'm just saying we don't know. Yeah, so as me say, we don't know because many times, initially when things happen, we say some things and when we learn
The story,
the
you have to
real
take
thing,
it
we have to
back.
say, bombard. Well, I was such a fool. So I don't say thing about that, bro. Well, you don't look good. Speaking about it, don't look good. Third policeman injured in Portmore shootout.
Okay.
Law enforcers are reporting that a third member of a police team was injured during a foiled robbery in Portmore, St. Catherine this afternoon. So it was reported earlier that 2 policemen were shot and injured while intercepting a car which was reported on a robbery spree in the area. But according to Corporal Rohan James, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, another policeman was run over by the criminals,
What?
even as a gun battle ensued.
Whoa.
These men used a motor vehicle as a weapon and also fired upon the police officers. During the shootout, 2 members of the team sustained gunshot injuries that are not considered life-threatening, and neither are the injuries sustained by the member who was hit by the vehicle.
Oh,
Good news that.
Yeah.
It's expected that all 3 members will be discharged from the medical facility. Now, according to information, at approximately 3:30 p.m. on Friday afternoon, members of the St. Catherine South Division were on operation in the Gregory Park area where they intercepted a Nissan Latio motor car with gunmen aboard. The gunmen reportedly shot at the police, who took evasive action and returned fire. It is understood that one of the gunmen was fatally shot. Oh, yeah? While another has escaped, because the first article had said that the 2 gunmen escaped. But the police say a search is now on for the missing gunman.
Portmore get at.
A very eventful Friday afternoon. Speaking about Portmore, I get that there are a couple of that stories surrounding Portmore further down in our juggling, you know. Clarendon construction worker charged with rape of 14-year-old. So 46-year-old Harold Gordon, otherwise called Sugar Marvin. But I mean, for laugh,
I won't get that name
then we
from.
couldn't tell you exactly give. Or Palvin, a construction worker of a Douglas driver just in Maypen, Clarendon, was arrested and charged with rape in relation to an incident that occurred on Monday, March 1 this year. A report said that a 14-year-old girl went to her stepfather's house when Gordon took her inside the house and had sexual intercourse with her, which resulted in her being pregnant.
Wow.
A report was made to the police, an investigation carried out, and Gordon was arrested. Following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney, Gordon was charged, the police said. Wow. 47-year-old Portland farmer charged with assaulting 13-year-old girl. So one of 46 and one of 47.
What the hell is happening?
Star. A 47-year-old Mark Lewis, a farmer of Portland Road in Port Antonio, Portland, was charged with indecent assault in relation to an incident which took place in Richmond Hill in Port Antonio on September 13. Reports are that a 13-year-old girl was asleep when Lewis tried to pull down her dress. A report was made to the police, an investigation carried out, and Lewis was arrested. Following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney, Lewis was charged, the police said.
Yes.
Yo,
What happened?
all the man they need to do, just message me, man.
Message you?
Yeah, man, me take care of them bill on the back road.
Yeah.
No, because I said...
Yeah, do that now?
No, I not really do that, but me look like me have to go do that for a couple man, brother, because we can save the man them from themselves.
But teacher, you notice the age of these girls?
But what me tell you, say, but I pass, what I talk about at the time, say, from the girl, them past 50, the man, they not business with them again, you know.
Since man is streaming.
Why, I tell you, Jaja. Big up Inspector Taylor. I want to know about Inspector. He look like he's an officer from Black River side, he look like.
Okay.
But he look very popular. You see me? But sis, me I say, like, alright. Women outnumber men in this country by about 3 to 1, probably 4 to 1 now. See? When me go on the road, most time, you only want a yarn and a girl think that she talk to.
Tell me about it.
You understand? I'm the most handsome youth. See, me not rich. Me not drive no fancy vehicle. You understand? Me not wear no bling clothes. And it's like,
There's already that.
me not say that.
I ask you.
Right, I'll be an answer you.
Okay.
Yeah, so me not say that.
Okay.
But you know really hard to strike up a conversation with an empress on the street.
But some of them not brave enough to have a conversation.
You don't need to brave. Me tell you, say, if I just yarn, the girl them think I talk to them, brother.
Teacher, first of all, some of them money attack and them a look down in the ground like
Yeah,
some
sure.
lost down there.
Right, yeah, man.
I hope you saw me idea and you look down there. So what happened?
Yeah, understand.
And most of them seem to be, they pray on the week. So a big woman like me will want a husband, me not. You understand? But the little junior and the little minor them, they pray on the week.
So you said I'm not accept you?
Now I get no feature. Them shy for 2 days.
What? No. Tayan, big up yourself for the brother.
I'm not shy. All them mind just set away.
Hey man, them for go, man.
Them mind just.
Hey man, them for go, Scotty. One at 46, one at 47. One girl at 13, one at 14.
Richie, go on your bed. Go to your bed, sir. Hey man, them fi stop it, man. I leave in the cook.
But what I know?
Make them grow now.
Hold on, I don't mean to make a cuss but just go on. Dirty man. Predator still on the loose after impregnating 11-year-old.
11?
Right, that come after 10.
Oh man.
Before 12.
Look at it, that.
A baby that, daddy? What do you mean? Eh? A man accused of impregnating an 11-year-old in St. Thomas is apparently not being pursued by the police.
Why?
The Jamaica Observer learned yesterday. Attempts to contact the St. Thomas police for an official comment were unsuccessful. However, a couple requested anonymity confirmed that the crime had been reported to the Center for Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse in St. Thomas. The couple also said, based on the age of the victim, we are still pursuing the investigation, hoping we will get enough information to advance. We are working with our partners to treat with it, but being that the child is at a tender age, sometimes it requires patience in dealing with children in those cases. I don't know how I feel about that statement. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency yesterday confirmed that the matter was brought to its attention in June, and since then it has activated the necessary support for the family. June, a long time, I don't know.
Yeah.
July, August, September, October, November. And I go as the 1st of June, I go as 6 months, I don't know. Half a year. However, sources suggest that the authorities are encountering difficulties getting information from the family and residents.
Why?
Of the community.
Can't shield them or shield them. She 11, nobody could not shield.
Hold on, before we go no further, you have some communities both here in Scotty where these things happen on a regular, you know.
Teacher, she
And people didn't see it and know, you know. And nothing is reported, you know. Yeah, man, you can do a grade 7 going 8, depends if you're bright. But what do you say? You have many communities both here where these things happen regular. And big people sitting in them community there and see it and no report is made. You know why? Because it is a common occurrence.
But also, what did we say about justice this week? This week, may
Say justice, one conditional justice.
Once it becomes somebody for us, somebody related or affiliated to us, the justice that we would want dealt out to a stranger,
right?
we don't want it for everyone.
Yeah, man, a conditional justice we love in a Jamaica. We don't want unconditional justice. We want conditional justice.
11-year-old teacher.
Yeah, man.
And she pregnant teacher.
But hold on, Scotty, I miss a very important point. Listen what the thing said. However, sources suggest that the authorities are encountering difficulties getting information from who? From the family and the residents of the community. Many youths get pregnant and them family cover it up. So then how do you blame the police?
You tell me of a case where they are trying to get the mother's name on the birth certificate of the child, the mother's correct name. Because at the time when the child was born, the mother was a minor, and who got her pregnant was, they didn't want that to come out, so she gave a wrong name.
Oh.
Yeah, let me hear it. Yes, somebody have a conversation about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sis, these things happen like more often than you'd want to believe. Yeah,
I know it happens.
Many, especially quote-unquote communities that were deemed as inner city communities, that many of these things happen, brother.
And some persons are afraid for their lives too.
That are one. Yeah. And because it is so commonplace, everybody just see it as normal. Like, oh.
Yeah, you know, it's like Keisha pregnant. Yeah, it's just something we just say and gone. It's sad though.
Sad is not the word.
11.
But this is the thing. How do you find an 11-year-old attractive? No, alright. Can you have an 11-year-old and she probably big in her body? You know, so she a baby. And I like, you don't know, you know. Because you're not strange about it. You know. Because you have some girl body with tricky road.
But you know.
But you know, so the girl I 11, brother. But then now, the citizens them will love berate the police and the government. Many times they are not willing to provide information, brother. Family members, sis. Nah, give police no info. No friends, you know. Family member.
The persons who are to protect them.
Okay, because I make you know that. And this child now may be so confused.
To be 11 pregnant.
Yesterday, most people in the community were unwilling to speak to reporters about the matter. Some fearing possible social backlash, while others admitted that they preferred to mind their own business. Okay. However, a few who chose to comment claim that the child, who is now 12 years old and is due to have the baby next month, had been exposed to many dangers.
So she still have the baby?
Yeah, she's still pregnant. When reporters spoke to the child and their grandmother at their home, the grandmother, while expressing disappointment, said she accepted that this is not the end of life for her granddaughter. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, get that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I appreciate that. Zine, because you can't just disregard the child and discard the child and thing. Zine, but what happened now to, because some of them are going to look on you and say, oh, you know, is the girl child's father, and yeah. Man, tell us that's a consideration, not for a time, brother. You understand? Here I send the child's father to prison now, and maybe I tell us I said up on them say, you know listen, you know. You know listen. You're part of that problem. You know listen. Oh, the child, who was shy, said that she has learned a lot from the experience and said she understood that falling into a similar trap again would not spell good for her future. She said too that she hopes to become a Jamaica Defence Force soldier. That would be very nice if that comes to fruition. I would really and truly like that. Now, according to the grandmother, the child only admitted having sexual intercourse with the man after she began showing signs of being pregnant. The grandmother also said that the alleged culprit is known to the family. 95% of the time, everybody know everybody. Zane, to the family and some of the residents, having visited the bar she operates on the same property where they live to have drinks and play Ludo. The grandmother said she grew suspicious of the man as he always got angry whenever a younger relative of the child snooped around while he engaged the child in private conversations on the property. Everybody in the family vexed, and I wonder why she did what she did. All what she was doing, she was hiding it. And if she never get pregnant, I wouldn't know. All the time I asked her about it, she said no. I see the guy come and I see them talk. I have a little grandson and they would run him when him go round them. Oh, okay. So them she and the boy would then run grandson. See? Me get mad one day and ask so them always run my grandson. From that, him take time and draw away. The family was never taking part or trying to hide anything, the grandmother insisted. I'm really sorry about it because she was going to school and she did that go on good. It reached police matter, but them don't catch up with the guy up to now. She called his name and we realized he used to come here. He's not from here, I understand. Say a mountain view him live, the grandmother said. She said that she had received a cell phone number for the man and she called and scolded him when she found out the little girl was pregnant. One of the time I spoke to him on the phone and was telling him he should not have even looked to do something like that because she's a little girl. The two of them mate. Hold on. The two of them mate and him said one at the time him realized that she pregnant. Grandmother said them mate. You know, me to laugh, you know. Sorry. From that, me not try to talk to him, the grandmother shared. One concerned resident said the girl's story should have been reported by the media before now and the suspect held by the police. So the media would then know though. Before now. This is supposed to be published and the guy who did it needs to go behind bars. She not even did catch 12 good, the resident said. Then that would make no difference. The whole community shocked and surprised. Another resident who was obviously angry about the situation did not mince words. A real dirty man that. Oh, you have to do that to a little pitney. You need to answer for this, he said. One woman said that she was disgusted by the situation but told reporters that she does not interfere with people's business because at the end of the day, people vex with you and me don't want nobody point me out. Yes.
Me want to say which big man and have no private conversation. We're gonna mind the cousin. And none of them is so little. Which private conversation? I mean, I already don't know. Anything I tell me, I'm tell her. You pay Chinese telephone.
Yes, but you say, you know, sensible to the streets.
Yeah, talk to who, teacher? You're man.
You understand? Some people naive in a brother. I when they see it, I know them must see, you know.
Talk to who? Where?
Ah, boy. Should not even reach 12. What a statement. And that me I say this like it make no difference if I she 11 or 12. But what me I say to you is, the situation is what it is. See? There are many of this kind of situation occurring in this country as we speak.
And as I said, it's sad that the people who are to be protecting you are the people who are harming you. So I remember when me have big woman at college and my uncle, they had a little spot and one I'm associate. See me at step cross. Uncle said, no man, I'm a little niece.
Who be? Who be that at the kitchen?
I'm a big sister that man. Yeah man, I'm a little niece. And he emphasized on the little niece part of it, regardless of my age. He emphasized on that teacher.
And they at college.
Sir, I'm a big woman at college, could I in a bad long time? But in a film eyes, it is what it is.
Still him little niece.
You understand? So me say at the end of the day, the persons who are to protect these children, we are failing them.
Long time.
And you see, she have one big man. When could I not tell her him a teacher maths and English?
What's the song?
Teacher, no. You crazy?
Nowadays, her uncle name Obi, man.
When could I not tell her? What conversation could they be having that the other little children in the family cannot be privy?
And not only that, apparently the conversations were ongoing conversations. You know, so why do you sit and allow that to continue? So alright, so we continue our road, but not in front of your brother.
Teacher them, I hide them if you hide. So nobody now go see. Can hide in a one. But not so brazen. Boy, you have can. Say, me no see where you could have not tell her. I say, me sorry. Me no see where you could have not tell her. At she's 11, I am a big man. I don't see what you could be telling her. So regular too.
Regular?
You don't have no conversation, man. You're mad.
Well,
as adults,
I don't know. We just feel you, them.
As adults, sir, we are charged to protect them, and we are failing.
Over again, we are feeling you with them. You understand?
We are charged to protect them, but we are failing to protect the children.
And then the thing about it is that we are the same ones who down the road say, yo, they youth them this and they youth them that. Now, we are feeling you with them.
Sir, me not see, 11-year-old and worse. Sir, when it comes to girl pitney, me not care how naive you be or how dumb you is. You have a third eye. Your antenna supposed to always up. You don't trust nobody.
Ron, you look good.
You don't trust nobody. So the moment you start this muddy a fish run and sandy run, as my granny would have said, you dismiss it.
What me then want is so Chelsea there, Zane, and Chelsea in front of me have conversation with big man.
Chelsea was a veranda sit down as Maddie come. And you realize.
But Chelsea know better than that still. But you say then again it's how you grow your youth. Because she wouldn't know, sir. That can't go on.
Tell that about them mate.
Then that may tell us something without a chuckle.
Move on here.
Whatever
right now, you know they see that they may get dark very quick. Me not appreciate it.
Sometimes you have to take your teeth cover out, but brother. It's how you raise your youth, Scotty. Because me I tell us something like first thing she shouldn't even out a door like that so low Snyder, brother. Me now she not get her time for, you know what I mean, socialize and with her peers and something, you know. But no.
I say one time he come there and talk to her. So
a regular
ongoing thing. And nobody knows if he say, brother, you know, so me not like how you talk to her. Because teacher, me will tell you that up front, you know.
Where mother there? Where father there?
Our grandmother.
The grandmother again.
That, but why nobody not, no.
You understand? So where are parents in there?
I tell you say.
Poor granny, would have a portion of them granny I look over to.
See me look because of them, sir. See even them going to school and taking public transportation. Not even public, because then we have somebody, but you know, some big people, tell you say some people just, they mind. And that little thing they about sit down in a lap, you don't sit down in a nobody lap, sir. That I first.
You sit down in my lap with me and go to school,
sir, that's way you're your schoolmate, fine.
Okay,
but
right.
As a child.
Oh, you mean so you know, doctor lap on me and say the big man? No, that can't work.
That cut myself very quickly about them things.
I know that, man.
Me not run them serious to it.
There was this girl, and I just said that. You know something I just. One girl named Sherika 5. She used to live at Ritualistic. Time I live at Peter's, you know, my stepmother. And I go to school. Every time I don't enough taxi now run, and the taxi I run really 2 inches we can, and you got a gear. So you know, it's a portion of it. Yeah, man, every morning that girl used to sit down in my lap and Ritualistic and go to school, man. Every morning. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else lap.
Yeah, and I already want to box too.
No, we don't want a 2 box, but she don't have nowhere to send in her week. She have to go to school, or that I try to show you. You understand? Just try to learn the conversation. Nice girl, you know. Lovely, dark, I forgot to try out what she did.
You see, next time push out a new number.
I said, let me see the next thing when I say, be weird. So new legislation coming that says, if you molest a child, the maximum sentence is going to be life in prison.
I agree.
I look for it, I find out if
that there for meet pan tomorrow, I agree.
they not do that. That take months to go through.
That there for meet pan tomorrow.
But me I tell you say, that not really
I don't
a
pay
top
them
priority
taxi
for
fare for them
them.
come to Parliament tomorrow. Because meet pan that and put it through.
They not do that. That take a while. That got me and that you system.
Sir, so many, like the children, the tomorrow, you know, that I problem, you know, sir. They are the tomorrow, you know. And we're so blind to the fact that they are the tomorrow. When we get to that, they might come to
Nah, so the maximum sentence should be death. But you know, other part of the story they go brother, so they must say life imprisonment there, sir. So the legislation, and let me clear it up, the legislation has not been passed, but the discussion is that they intend to implement said legislation. So let me just clear that up. You see me?
Tired of the children, them a get the shit here and they stick. See, stick no down they full.
What that? Oh, the sculpture.
So I'm tired of it.
The monument.
Yeah, man, I'm tired of
The
it.
crying child monument.
Tired of it. It's full. And they have how much name to go on it still.
Ain't got enough name can down for extending.
I don't know.
Well, we in so many problems, so many different angles here. It's just, as I'm tell you, see, and that's one of the, and as I tell you before, you're streaming me like for you pass about 6-7 street. If you're not streaming me, I'm streaming. Come more time I can, but me I tell you, you see if you come and sit down and talk about some of the things about myself some of the time, it's just too heavy, brother.
Serious with you.
You understand? Some more time I say, you are going. You know that Friday night, yeah? See, I just go ramp with Amir until he go sleep, you understand? But those were the vibes, I say. I'm glad that they are still.
They took away, man. 11 and she pregnant.
11 years old, huh? Like, you know. And I like, you don't know, you know.
Can't say I think of them all.
You know.
See next thing with this online thing too. Maybe she not go to school, she not go to school and tell on her friend. And the friend tell her next friend 2 twos, 1 teacher here.
Which is true. But
enough time not going.
But enough time not going too.
That is true.
Yeah, so I'm get what I say. Scotty provided emotional support.
Okay, me need that myself.
God. Principal sentence for indecent assault of boy.
Where?
Heads to appeal. Sentence, man. Me stream about this long time, man. Salaman, man. Salaman and Mike, man, you know. I see my batchmate.
Why you declare that?
I don't buy batchmate.
So why you declare
no, if I did my look here, enough time things go on, I say, yo, me know them man, me and them man, they got. So no matter with it.
I know what to see, but where?
I see my batchmate.
I see what it's saying now.
No, let's remember that.
Wicked like.
Alright, if they ask him about him, see what I tell you one thing.
But not ask him about nothing.
See what?
Right there, you go down for yourself and tell me bad things.
What you know about Salaman Smith? I mean, guarantee you say, what half year, but tell you what see what I got tell you.
What's Salaman do?
I didn't know, if it's not a wise man.
Salaman was a wise man.
Yeah, but this is Salaman. No.
No, they are fool.
Yeah, right. Watch out. Salaman Smith, the principal of Brownstone Primary School in St. Anne, is heading to the Court of Appeal in a bid to quash his conviction and an indecent assault charge relative to an incident involving a teenage male student from another school 2 years ago. Smith was sentenced to 9 months imprisonment, suspended for 1 year. He not served no time. On Wednesday, after being found guilty by a parish judge in St. Anne earlier this year. Now, following the sentencing in the St. Anne Parish Court, the educator's attorney indicated that he will be appealing both the verdict and sentence. The complainant at the time was age 17. So I could tell you what Salaman done. Are you ready for here? Allegations are that on April 17, 2019, the complainant missed his private bus ride to school and made contact with the principal, a family friend, to facilitate a drive to school. I tell you about them family friend, you know. They're not so friendly. It was further reported that during the journey to Brownstone, the educator fondled the breast of the male teen and placed his hand in the youngster's boxers, fondling his sexual organ in the process.
What?
Yeah, man. Me want to tell us what we talk about that 2019. You know, watch the stream. The teen is said to have told his parents of the incident some weeks later after reportedly telling his friends that he had become depressed. A report was subsequently made to the police, and following a probe, officers from the Center for Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse (SOCA) in the parish arrested the educator and later charged him. Amid the conviction and sentencing, Smith has maintained his innocence in relation to the charge that was against him.
But that me just not answer. I can't imagine him saying no do it.
Then I don't really think people then come say it.
Say look you will get depressed.
Then me depressed. I don't know me. So I suppose that even though his conviction is not custodial, I guess him no want that funny name like he can't get that off again. And you know these things though. All of them in money and people is staying. You know, like get up in a white shirt like
I'm already sorry.
mixed with local curry. Better pack. So when they go on, man, they talk about it now on stream and thing. And you know, some people that say, oh, the 17-year-old boy, if see them gonna make him do that and then sit there. So I mean,
so they might try to blame him.
you know, I always come back down to the victim blaming thing, you know what I think, right? You understand?
Oh boy.
Cause you know a family friend, a big principal, you're comfortable around him, you trust him and you say, man.
You imagine.
Based on the allegations.
Based on the allegations.
Jon Snow, big up yourself, brother. Winter is coming. Yeah, sorry for cut.
Yeah, that's how the little boy go to sit down there frightened. He can't move. Can't even expect that.
Because different people react to different things differently. You know?
That is it.
Yeah, son.
And some people, because they will not run and fight and whatever, they think that everybody will. No. Some people are freeze up in some circumstances. During the rape, they mentally went somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So it's like physically the body is there, but mentally them no. Them not check into our one. Mm-hmm. And that is how they preserve themselves.
Wait, I feel like it reached already. No, man, it's just a little reference from Game of Thrones, man. Should we say General say name Jon Snow, you know?
You know which time I try watch
I'm my favorite character in it. Jon Snow, Arya. I agree with the series about the time Breaking Bad, man. You can't tell me nothing. Only thing they have to look up things in there where never have it in there like.
Start pre.
No, you don't have to pre. Me, I don't make it sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. If man, they want sneak in that. All the cartoon, they want sneak in that sitting in there, brother. All in a cartoon, they man, push that agenda, there, brother. So you have to watch a cartoon. You have to check a cartoon them when you would say watch. I see anything with Spartacus, man.
Me watch that.
Show me out.
Watch Spartacus.
Everything man, they must put a look at thing now. More time you can't do bother with the show them. You see me? Yeah, man. Alright. So that. So Solomon a gun there, you know. Auntie. But Ben man, when they say, Simon.
Nah, Simon. Always I try to set me up. I'm not asking.
I don't set up, man.
Always I try to set me up.
Because better anything what Simon will tell us.
Not asking him, no. In the day nice street.
And that anytime we have interview, I say, Simon, you know what's got your ask about what there? Solomon Smith.
When I ask you, we will hear when he respond to that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I don't know she asked for that for your brother. But Tree and Solomon go to school together. What? Do you batch mate, bro? Yeah, I'm the same batch.
Jaya, the teacher.
I batch 169. No, Simon and I want batch 169. Simon about batch 166. I batch 170 meaner.
Who van good, man?
No, big one team. I batch 170.
Me know, you're going to batch.
Sure. I would have never liked it. You have me all of my mic ID there put up.
Yes,
where there's
yes, sir.
So me in a batch 169, me no favorite tell me in a batch 169.
That's Solomon good have.
Nah man, we don't do Solomon. We only hear of Solomon. Ah boy, I have to take my things jokes out there. Zane?
Sinara, I never see you. Hi, good night, how are you?
Alright. Did we cover Ruel Reid story yet? No, sir. And I couldn't dark up myself so early in that stream, sir. Yeah, we get that feel last when we got to bed. 8 murders reported between Friday and Saturday. Last weekend.
No.
What do you mean if I know?
4 per day.
But then, we have seen days where...
I'm 1 year.
21, man. 19, 18, 21.
I don't call it, I need to go on the ark. True, me now.
But you're good as it up in the murder statistics for the ark, you know, brother.
Teacher, me now
I
go
will
in
say
another line.
you jump out of front.
Me now go in another line, you know that? Me now go in another line.
Kevin didn't tell us you're unclean long time, man. You have to change your blood.
You go hospital and go do a transfusion.
Teach them, y'all get my dog too. Tell the carry y'all go hospital. You might tell us discharge yourself, man, and come.
After me transfusion, me discharge and come.
For your new kidney. Yeah, fool. As the island's murder rate spirals out of control, police investigators indicate that 8 people were murdered between Friday and Saturday last week. True, we never stream Sunday. 4 of the murders were recorded in St. James, 3 in St. Catherine, and 2 in Clarendon. But the Constabulary Communications Unit report that gunmen struck in the volatile community of Flankers in St. James and shot dead 19-year-old Damian Smith. 2 other men were shot and injured during the incident. The 3 men were walking home about 10:20 p.m. when the attackers pounced, and the injured men are being treated in hospital. A few hours before, the owner of a car wash at Longsville Park in Clarendon was killed by a lone gunman in his place of business. He has been identified as 38-year-old Ricardo Williams, also called Finger. The machete was the weapon of choice to snuff out the life of 50-year-old Orlando Brown of Sangsters Heights, also in Clarendon, about 8:30 p.m. Friday. Residents reported hearing a voice crying out for help, and when they followed the sound, it led them to a gully where Brown's body was seen with multiple chop wounds.
Wow.
The police in Portmore St. Catherine were also kept busy when gunmen cut down 20-year-old Ramesh Spence, a construction worker of Twickenham Park. Spence, who is also called Knox or Tony, was shot dead as he walked home from work. Death also rode its white horse to Hendon Norwood in St. James when a gunman attacked and shot Odin Hunter, also called Predem, as he walked in the community on Saturday. Odin Hunter, I know somebody with that name there, you know. Somebody my senior. Yeah, man, I mean, I first year, I'm in a 3rd year. I did Trisha Boo. Yeah,
Sure.
Jaja. I just have a break sometimes because I don't think I'm very depressing. Yeah, that's true. Also on Saturday, gunmen struck in Nagahead, St. Catherine, murdering 39-year-old technician Karen McCollin as he walked in the community about 1 p.m. I'll speak some more about that story in a few. Gunmen also killed 43-year-old Stephen Miles, a sales clerk of Sheehan Drive, Gregory Park, St. Catherine. Miles was killed in Portmore Villa, and police report that residents reported hearing explosions, and when they arrived on the scene, Miles' lifeless body was seen lying in a pool of blood. Meanwhile, a dispute between 2 handcart vendors in the market circle in Montego Bay, St. James, ended on Saturday with the stabbing death of 22-year-old Kemar Haffenden, otherwise called Red Plate. So how we go so like for Salaman? What do you mean? I mean, we are the court system.
Can we?
Can we?
Court.
Then we blaze them fire there from 2019, you know, man. We don't need to. We don't have enough curse now for light there fire there 2 times. Can I tell us on the stream about
I
it?
look gas. You remember when we light the fire with the gas?
When we are prepared for moment. Nah.
I'm going to ask the eyebrow.
We've been through a lot, sis. Yeah, we're there. Sure, we're there, so, you know. Yeah. I'll pick that up when I come. I'll speak about Karen McCallin, who was killed in Britain, because there's a little bit of a backstory. Well, not a backstory, but some more information about his death. Teen shot dead. Motorcycle delivery man injured in St. James attack. Two motorcycle delivery men remain hospitalized in serious condition following a deadly shooting in Flanker, St. James. I think this is the incident where we talk. The first case I mentioned said one man was killed and two injured. One is a 22-year-old of Paradise Norwood, and the other 23 years old of Farm Heights address, both in St. James. And it was a 19-year-old Damian Smith of Flankers succumbed to gunshot injuries received. So the police say shortly after 10 p.m., the three men were walking along a section of Seaview Drive in Flankers when they were ambushed by a group of gunmen. The gunmen opened fire, hitting all three victims, then escaped on foot. And the Coral Gardens police were summoned and the wounded men transported to a hospital where Smith was pronounced dead. Yes, it is dangerous. In them article, seeing that you have people in hospitals still. Grief in Spring Village, St. Catherine, as elderly women's throats slashed. No. The Spring Village community in St. Catherine has been plunged into mourning following the gruesome discovery of the bodies of two elderly sisters. The deceased have been identified as 72-year-old Lola Lewis, who is disabled, and Christine Lewis, 69, who is a retired teacher and a justice of the peace in St. Catherine. The discovery was made about 9 a.m. on the day in question. It is reported that residents stumbled upon the bodies inside the house they occupied and summoned the police. It is reported that persons went to investigate arising from a foul odor. The police reported that it appears that the women's throats were slashed. 72 and 69. Ah, boy. 2 men and 15-year-old boy charged with murder. Yeah, what kind of year-old boy?
15.
Okay. The police in Westmoreland have charged 2 men and a 15-year-old boy for the murder of a man on Rickett Street in Sav in the parish last month. The adults are 21-year-old Daniel Williams, otherwise called Dendo, of Rickett Street, and 35-year-old Rickal Barrett, otherwise called Tuggy, interesting, of Shillington District in Black River, St. Elizabeth. The three accused were charged on Sunday, and their first court date has been finalized. The police report at about 4:10 p.m. on October 7th, 34-year-old Robert Ruel was driving his Toyota motor car when he was pounced upon by the trio. They reportedly opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. He was taken to hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. On Tuesday, October 12th, Williams and the team were arrested in a police operation at their home in Rickett Street in the parish. On Monday, October 25th, Barrett was apprehended by the police when he reported on condition of bail in St. Elizabeth. Interesting. They were subsequently jointly charged with murder and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. There was some shootout between an ex-soldier and some police in a Cumberland Meadows in a week.
I saw it in the...
The ex-soldier locked up in a house in data sitting after him shoot after some people.
But what? I didn't hear what...
I think he's mentally challenged.
Okay.
But when he get a gun.
And whose gun is it?
I don't know yet. Zane. So both of them, so the soldier was injured and a policeman was injured. I don't know. And thing. Stink rising over Riverton land row. Row. But I don't want to say a land row.
In the argument over the land?
Yes, but so the row they normally pronounce it. Row? Yeah? Alright, bright. Settlers resisting eviction bid. So talks of the removal and compensation of residents. I've been tracking this thing for a little bit, Talks of the removal and compensation of residents of an informal settlement along Portland Avenue in Riverton apparently may have taken a deadly turn after a businessman co-opted as a negotiator between the owners and the residents, was killed on Tuesday. Yeah, man, I saw the story that the businessman was killed. I never know. Say it, you understand?
Okay.
Dead is 64-year-old Norman Dunkley of Portmore St. Catherine. Dunkley, residents said, met with them on several occasions at the request of the landowners, trying to convince them to move and negotiate compensation. He was shot dead in the community by a lone gunman. The Huntsville police are investigating. So the land dispute was raised in the House of Representatives on Wednesday by St. Andrew Western Member of Parliament Anthony Hilton during his State of the Constituency debate presentation. Hilton said many of the residents took refuge from the Baccawal slum in Kingston West. That's not Tivoli. Yeah, man, that was the first name until Blinds rename it. So Hilton said many of the residents took refuge from the Baccawal slum in Kingston Western and have eked out a living for themselves and families, many of whom still occupy lands in the large, the poor community of Riverton City, some for as long as 60 years. Without any consultation with either the Member of Parliament, the councillor, or the citizen, someone who previously owned land elsewhere along the industrial belt showed up to insist that the people be removed from the land to make way for the factory development, he told lawmakers. Hilton decried purported plans for the establishment of a factory in the residential settlement, suggesting that the commercialization plan arced back to industrial age England, but then would it not provide employment for some of the residents? I mean, we don't want the residents to lose them house, but it must suggest like there's been no benefit to the community, if you get what I say. I don't know. As I said, the political representative warned that tensions were rising in the area and charged that it appeared that the purported landowners had no proof of possession. Hilton did not name the alleged landowners. Hilton, who did not name the alleged landowners, claimed that the development initiative was backed by the Ministry of Housing. The person claiming to have purchased the land without sufficient proof of having done so lawfully is insisting that the families remove themselves from the land immediately or face being fenced in behind a wall to be built. The tension is rising in the area. Predictably, the area is on edge, Hilton said. Residents, meanwhile, said on Thursday that they felt cheated and would not move as they have nowhere to go. In effect, well, it affected me a lot because I lived on the land about 18 years. And it was never like that. It was swamp and everything. And as it had developed and looked like land now, I hear this thing about buying the land, a resident who declined to have his name published said. The resident said they first heard that the land was bought in 2019 and got notice on September 15, 2021. They were given 1 month to leave the area.
That's quick.
Very quick. Imagine you live there all in your life. And you only live there if you did have the financial means not to. You understand? So if you get up and relocate in a 1 month, kind of rough. She came back a week later in September and started pushing off the trees. She said we need to give her an estimate of how much we want for the land. And we said we're not giving her an estimate because we don't have anywhere else to go, another resident said. A resident of 36 years said she was told by a third party that a settlement of $345,000 per household could be reached with the owners. $345,000. Who were willing to pay $3 million. Let me do that again. A resident of said that a settlement of $345,000 per household could be reached with the owners who were willing to pay
$3 million in totality.
Right, so
each person getting that figure. $345,000.
Well, council and MP said we're not supposed to write or come to no agreement. Suppose you see my house, it's big. It have a whole heap of concrete, more than board. We have tile, concrete, 6 bedrooms and 4 bar, a big house. Said the resident, adding that 14 persons live in the house. Hey, Nice to course that.
Eh.
Children too have been rattled by the relocation order. Parents have said. They're doing online class, but they can't get to focus. My daughter heard that we have to move. We don't have anywhere to go, a resident said. However, a Riverton man says he welcomes the development. That factory can come. We don't fight against the factory. It's going to help we. It's only because they don't have anywhere to go. Auntie, interesting. Well, it would be very sad to learn that this man lost his life because of this though.
Maybe.
Clarendon man charged with murder of relative. Back on that. 59-year-old Devon Hanson, otherwise called Basil, of Derby Terrace, Sandy Bay, Clarendon, has been charged with murder following an incident that took place at his home on Tuesday, October 19. Reports on the Maypen police had at about 8:30 p.m. Hanson attacked a family member with a machete and chopped him several times. The family member inflicted stab wounds on Hanson in self-defense. Hanson was later confronted by another family member regarding the incident. That family member was also attacked, this time with a knife. Bombard, Hanson up on a mission. The family member responded by using a pipe to hit Hanson, fracturing his left hand and dislocating his lower jaw. Bombard. Both Hanson and the family member he had chopped were taken to the Maypen hospital where the relative died while undergoing treatment. But Hanson didn't plan to kill everybody. Hanson was arrested and charged on Friday, October 29 after a question and answer session. Bombard star.
Say, he broke out in job on the pipeline.
I said they broke Vegas job on the pipeline. One selector.
Okay.
So I'm going to be scared. So.
Okay. Surgery.
Remember I shared with you earlier that somebody was killed in Nagahead. Kieran McCallin. He is the nephew of the police sergeant that was killed in Gregory Park not so long ago.
Okay.
So murdered police sergeant's nephew killed in Nagahead. So the man, 39-year-old Kieran McCallin, a telephone technician. Now what happened is that it has been revealed that McCallin was killed because he disobeyed orders from thugs to remove a CCTV camera
from his house.
Yeah.
I saw it in the I think I saw it on Twitter.
Man killed after refusing to remove camera from the house. So probably many people don't realize that
He's the
same person. So that's kind of make a link. A technician who reportedly disobeyed the directive of gangsters in his community to disconnect his home security camera system was killed in broad daylight last Saturday near his home in the White Lane area of Nagahead in Portmore, St. Catherine. But you can imagine that doses. You put up CCTV camera to try to protect your property and your family. A man tell us, you have to take it up.
And you're not take it up.
And you're dead. Reports had at about 1 p.m. McCallin was shot dead by an unknown assailant who escaped in the air on foot. Our intel has picked up that he was instructed by miscreants in that community to remove the camera system that is set up there, head of the St. Catherine South Police Division, Christopher Phillips said. When reporters visited White Lane on Tuesday, the community was like a ghost town with deserted streets as residents cowered in fear. The bloodstained entrance to a gate where McCallin was attacked before it bore testament to the tragedy. Sticks of cigarettes were also seen close to the scene. One thing I know is that the community really appreciates him. He was a person that has a special skill in that area, providing members with internet service and so on, okay. Phillips said of the slain technician. A female resident said that the community was shocked and saddened at the murder. Him not talk to people, him stick to himself. He goes from work, then back home. That is it. The community is shocked and we can't believe it happened. That is why we stay behind with gate, she said. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Tell me, I guess I'll tell you this.
Wow. So you need permission from man your community to put up
To
video
protect
camera
them.
upon your house. Okay. Cool, man.
Yep, it would seem so. It would seem so.
When the church thing pathway there, I look like you want to drop asleep. So move for say, man. when the church thing went, there was a video circulating of a brother a drink blood
Oh
from
yeah,
a
I saw
goat
that
head.
on Twitter, I think.
You know what Kevin in name too.
Sure.
So I mean Kevin Grant. But hold on. There's a link.
Okay.
A very big link.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yes, man. As a matter of fact, when the thing broke, one of my subscribers sent me some things. I think it was posted in the channel group. And me I said, them I said, him guy, me I said, this man in a Ghana church, man. I think I was talking to Garfield about it. In the group. I mean, I said, Garfield, that man look like that man who got a church, man. So I them I say, a church member. Me I said, nah, man. So I man Predatory and tattoo and they say, that man in a church still. See, and I even went as far as to say to him that there have been many cases in recent times where the police have discovered evidence that men, especially those involved in crime, have been drinking blood as a means to say, to protect themselves. Whether from them cronies or from the police or I think. So I remember having cigar there, like we had the conversation.
In
the channel group, yeah man. Okay. Yeah man. Cause they posted it in there. I mean I said Garfield, them man in a God church, them man in a church man. Look on the man. You understand? So watch you now. Watch your maths. Slain blood drinker sought Smith's protection. Cops believe. Don't move.
Okay.
26-year-old Kevin Grant, otherwise called Big Dog, who was recently captured on tape drinking blood from the head of a freshly slaughtered goat, was shot dead at a rented apartment in Discovery Bay, St. Ann on Sunday.
Wrong goat in drink.
And probably ain't drinking enough. Well. Grant was reportedly cut down by armed men about 10:45 p.m. shortly after returning from an illegally staged dance. The man, who was of a Richmond Hill address in Bickerseth, St. James, and also of a Portland Road apartment in Discovery Bay, was pronounced dead at hospital after unknown assailants barged in and shot him multiple times. You probably see the pictures of them on him. Well, me have them. We can't use them in a video. I never do no video upon it still. I'm really and truly never interested. Tell you the truth. A police source in St. Ann said that they have reasons to believe that Grant was a major player in the lottery scam.
That's what I saw when the video came out first on social media.
Yeah, man. Some people that said it was a Pathways member. I would say that is so funny. The blood drinking ritual is common among scammers who believe that it offers them protection from harm, help them to elude the police, and make them more successful in fleecing money from unsuspecting victims. Investigators also believed that Grant had paid a huge sum in seeking spiritual protection from the late Kevin Smith, who headed the St. James-based Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries, where two persons, we don't know the rest, were murdered. Smith, and there's something there. Grant is not the only person linked to lottery scamming who is said to have been paying Pastor Kevin Smith for protection, the police source said. There are other lottery scammers who we have learned were paying him millions of dollars for protection.
I never know say I'm in the protection business too. I mean,
that's funny.
But that's something I never know. That's a new
Yeah.
That's a new take.
Scotty said she never knows that Smith in the protection business.
You know, that all of your man say things that. So I say, I never know him doubling that.
Apparently Smith was involved in a lot of things.
It would see.
You understand? And but say, boy, I don't know Rasta. I don't know. But you see, and them also dead man tell no tales here, sir. And them say a lie them and tell Pan Pastor Smith.
His Excellency.
His Excellency. In the last day there, you know, him there tell him to call him now His Majesty. Yeah, man. You know enough article, man. Actually, you not read the article. Me read them, brother. See? Me read them, man. Like, you know, I don't know about video about them, but me read them. I like more things, you know.
Same thing did go from His Excellency
to His Majesty.
Oh, His Majesty is no the Emperor.
So you know, so in night there when cause couple days before, him tell the people themselves who take the vaccine him and put them out of church, you know. And then he call them on next day to come update their membership.
You pay for do that?
I'm not sure. But who knows? You see night you know, see people who have a company act, they sign 999 beside their name. And then him sign 999 beside their name. Can when I name in a field name, he have 9999, you know. Yeah, man, in I name along like all I pick now we teach. Yeah. He have 9999 after Christos something. So now tell the people them say Selassie I got.
But telling them say Selassie I got that even so bad.
But you don't do that. The dog tell you say you are going man and beat him and assist and keep it and them man don't know if you listen.
Not a bad set and entertainers to listen.
Yeah, which is true. But I know all of them the music, they are church type of music, daddy. So you must say, man, get me a church.
But if you don't come to you get a complete conclusion that something was wrong with that.
No, I don't know. I don't choose a God. I don't know Rasta George. Cult pastor dictator.
Yep.
I think I'm a fool.
Yes, did you read it? Just say that.
Kevin Smith ruled Pathways with iron fist. Court, see, the court, a court, this is talking and you know?
Oh, they're court at all.
Parla.
Who?
Parla.
Oh.
I guess I read from them evidence.
Oh.
So Kevin Smith ruled Pathways with iron fist. Courts here, late cult pastor Kevin Smith ruled his Pathway International Kingdom Restorations Ministry with such an iron fist that he would project death upon congregants and their families who refuse to pay him money upon demand. They got money to do your things. Yeah. And among his dictates, they had to seek his permission to go on vacation. Where you wanna go?
You know why them have to tell Kevin where them are go?
Cause Kevin I say if you not tell them are go dead. My crash.
Kevin I go figure out how much money them have spent for your vacation.
So him can
you want
collect him thing.
Yeah, cause if you are go on big vacation for
you must have money.
You have money, so you need to pay better offering.
You
understand?
Those were among the allegations documented in witness statements read out by Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn in the Supreme Court as the state opened its case against Andre Ruddock, the man accused of killing one of two people whose throats were slit in Smith's church on October 17th in what is believed to have been a human sacrifice ritual. Archangel Gabriel.
Oh,
a third congregant, Kevin Palmer, was shot dead by the police as they entered the building, while another of Smith's followers was stabbed, shot in his back, and an attempt made to cut his throat during the mayhem inside the building in Albion, St. James. Ruddock, who was confessed to killing Pathways member Tanika Gardner on Smith's command, was ordered by the judge to undergo psychiatric evaluation and to return to court on December 7th, when outstanding evidence such as post-mortem reports should be ready. The recommendation for the psychiatric evaluation was made by Llewellyn. I suspect she would have also recommended that for Kevin and he's still been alive.
Yeah, man. Naturally.
Maybe naturally, yeah.
Then she could
have.
She could
that.
not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, the things that is
So yeah, so Kevin needed a psych eval?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Lane, the prosecution's case, the DPP said that Ruddock was employed by Smith to take care of his animals, including 17 goats. Enough. Yeah, that goat that, you know, we can start life with that.
What me find, Garfield?
And 3 head of cattle, and to perform other jobs around the church. She said, according to witness accounts, Smith was addressed by the titles His Excellency, Daddy, or Father. He later asked to be addressed as His Majesty because he believed himself to be the king. It is alleged that if he believed a particular member had money and did not want to give it to him, he would
what?
He would indicate that the reluctant member was going to crash and die. And he would send out his wrath on the members and the member and their family, the DPP said, adding that the witnesses claimed that Smith would allegedly use threatening terminology to get the money, and his methods were described as dictatorial. Can't think about somebody else in this country whose methods are that.
So them just realize that?
Who just realize?
The members of the church.
Then I couldn't tell you, is it evidence that people are going to give you? I'm tell a lie. It's not me give you.
I lie them and tell you.
See, I lie them and tell.
Yes, lie them and tell.
She added that if a particular member of the Pathway, and these are her family, Jingbam family, wanted to go on vacation, they would have to first seek permission from Smith, who said that without his covering, the member and his family would not pass through immigration. Oh, they are going to fire.
Yeah, you have to pay your fee.
Yeah, man, so you can't go through immigration. Every man have money where we can't make look about it too.
But you do, me not have money.
After money can't hold my pocket.
Very wrong member for you having that year confidence. Looks bad here.
No, man, yeah, bless your man, so your money flow.
No, it's alright. It will flow past the same way. I mean, never give.
The DPP said witnesses claimed in their statements that the church operated in the customary way for most members, as Smith presided over marriages, baptisms, deliverance services, and the sowing of seeds. They also said that Smith would prophesy or get a vision about people's deaths. According to the account of one witness, about 2 weeks before the day of the ritual incident, Smith had started to act in a strange way and change what he was teaching in the church. Smith said that Selassie was God and told his congregants that they could listen to secular music from persons such as Sizzler, Capitan,
you know, Fireman,
Buju Banton,
yeah.
Beanie Man,
King,
Queen Africa, and others. They don't feel listen to killer music. I came in at the end. Yeah, I want to kill it. Let go from the DJ shirt, Kevin.
What? I mean, there's some good people where you can go.
Yeah, you can make some Kalanji man and some Beanie man and some Shangan.
No bad.
Africa.
No bad. Then when Kevin telling that, them never see say sit no doing.
And some gully bap, kind of gully bap, man. Every girl wants to touch up.
They never see no sister somewhere.
The man, the music man, give me a mix. Make her turn up with that. Every girl wants to touch up for me. You don't see the video?
You see it. You be the video see it.
Every girl wants to touch Kevin, you're a fool. Mother Joe. Father, forgive me. I not complain. Sometimes the system stresses to the brain. When things get tough and times get harder, sometimes you have to ask, what is Father? Which are we there though?
The struggle is quite real.
Ah boy, the DPP said that the witness stated, adding that Smith also told his congregants that they could smoke weed. Smoking marijuana from the corner.
Big tune. Big upstairs fence.
That they could smoke weed because it can carry them to a higher level of consciousness.
That is true. That is true. It takes you higher.
The witness statements also said that on October 12, 2021, Smith said that the people in the church who took the vaccine would be singled out and put out of the church. He did not believe in the vaccine and said it was a mark of the beast. He further said that anyone who took the vaccine had no share or part with God and would be cut off from the light and darkness.
From Selassie?
Eh?
Cut off from Selassie?
Teacher, of course it better high. Cut off from Selassie.
Eh.
A God,
Selassie,
it make me confused.
The emperor?
The emperor. In relation to the day of the incident, the witness statement said that about 2:35 p.m., a male witness saw Smith arrive on the church compound and began shouting that he is God in the flesh and they should come into the ark before it closes. Then the ark can left and me out the door. God, me going on that too. Yeah, fool.
I feel something that get cut. I had clean like that going. I should have been there pick out who going like clean. But
you could have cut from the throat, Scotty. Because me say, then me I say, Pastor, member Scott can't cut my throat, you know. You understand? Because I say, me and her, we are see him. So, she have to go in at this line to pass. She can't have the knife. She can't have the knife out there. She have to join the line too. Else this not fair.
I don't give me that thing over here. But I think giving you that right, my teacher. We smoke your wrong split. You go that smoke, look at weed. You see him weed, where man?
I'm a push.
But
actually, you not smoke it on the corner.
And then get a good kush.
You know, smoke it on the corner to make it smarter.
No, dude.
The witness also said that people are allowed to enter the building after Smith called their names from a list, a book of life.
No.
I mean, I said that, another them says so. From a list he had, well, the witness also said that people are allowed to enter the building after Smith called their name from a list he had in his hand. Now, there's a typo in this. And upon entry, they signed 999 beside their names. After which Smith signed 999. So 69, that you know. 3 apiece.
Is the Trinity?
So no just 666 upside down, man. The mark I be, so must have vaccine a mark I be. So they see my market people them there. People fool, you know. One of the witnesses claimed that Smith told members of the church to throw out all the tissues. You don't need no tissue, you don't do the water.
Oh!
To throw out all that tissue.
For going out?
Yeah, man.
Then suppose you're going there and do them.
Then you use a shirt.
You no problem.
Because if you must say, I just dump in a mackerel gravy to your thing, you know, mackerel gravy because I run a million, you know.
You no problem.
Throw out all that tissue. I just tear off your sleeve, man.
Oh, you have so much sweet.
Or your white garment too, you're real good.
I use that day.
Alright, yeah, so we shall there now. So, come in there, so you know, if you use nothing where when I'm natural. So like soap and then something. Apparently they post anything up on their Facebook page in that last day still. In that last day, that's funny. Alright, watch. So
you can't put any use natural soap and natural.
One of the witnesses claimed that Aki said that Smith told members of the church to throw out all tissues, wipes, and soap.
Could you go on that?
Yeah, when they're up on the ark, nobody want to do them. Yeah, man, you're sealed out, you know, like when beer and hibernation. You say me have grass before they go out. While the congregants discarded the items, a bottle of wine broke. So this is the problem though, you know. The wine are important, you know. Okay. Go and watch your wine. So when they match out them things there, the wine broke on the floor. See? Approximately 20 minutes later, Smith told the now deceased Kevin Palmer in police show that whoever was in front of the wine, he, Palmer, should cut that person's throat. So you see wine broke and I say, oh, me I'll stay up on that side there. You get shanked. You should go on the next side of the wine. The wrong side of the wine at the pan. You're on the wrong side of the wine.
You know, see?
should cut that person's throat so that they can enter into the kingdom. You don't need a throat for going into the kingdom. Smith instructed the now deceased Kevin Palmer to cut the throat of witness A and other persons. I think witness A survived. I want to survive. Witness A said he went to the safe side according to the witness statement. I think I ended up on that sheet and them sitting there. Okay. I must have played it or sitting. The DPP said Smith told witness B that in order for him to enter into the kingdom, Palmer would have to cut his throat.
Palmer couldn't cut my throat. Yeah,
Witness, but hold on now. You know, see nothing here to hold on. See, I'll lick up your knee. Sealer. Witness B knelt down in front of Smith and handed the knife to Palmer. Witness B subsequently ran outside. Witness B smarter than them. Along with another person, but Palmer chased witness B and the other person and stabbed them in their backs. Can you look on the picture, them see people lay down man, with stab wounds and them. At this juncture, the other members of the church lay down on the ground and covered themselves. Smith then began to destroy the glass on the altar, the window and other items, the DPP said.
Smith, someone did wrong with Smith. That is
Sometime after, Smith is alleged to have given a knife to witness A and told him that he is Michael, the archangel. Smith also gave the accused Andre Ruddock a knife and told him that he was Archangel Gabriel.
Yes, I give people name.
But I think he did anoint them before that though. Before the night there. The witness statements also related the events leading to the death of Michael Scott Brown, a kidney man, a member of the church who was suffering from a health issue which resulted in tubes being attached to his body. Smith, the witness said, told Brown, you have to die, but you will rise again because I am the resurrection and the life. Thereafter, Smith pulled the tubes from Brown, who then bled to death. The witness statement also related the allegations as how Tanika Gardner was killed, saying that Smith asked her, do you believe that I am the resurrection and the light? Gardner replied, yes. You're a fool, Pastor. It may look like I eat boy resurrection and life. Man, go on here, man.
Let me tell you, sir, if Pastor asked me that, sir, if Pastor see me on the road dead, fine.
He can raise you.
Yeah, me now.
Boy, you don't kill him for raise
you. He can't kill me for raise me. I come here and eat it. The giant show and tell.
But that even though we are laughing.
See me around the corner and be dead, raise me, Pastor.
Smith then asked her, do you believe I can raise you from the dead? She replied, yes. To which Smith responded, your blood have to be cleansed. I will cut your throat. And Gardner said, yes. This look voluntary to me and I want to look away like. If I get to me and say,
sir.
Man, it's a puppy show and then gang. And just puppy show.
Well, it's a set of rat, but.
Ah, boy. Smith. So according to the witness statement, Smith instructed witness A to cut Miss Gardner's throat. Witness A said no, that a Michael the archangel. Yeah, no. I don't want to get it wrong. But the man saying I cut the throat. The man the wise, in tall and them. The accused, Andre Ruddock, walked to where Miss Gardner was located. When the accused, Andre Ruddock, got to where Gardner was located, she knelt down before him. At this point, the accused, Andre Ruddock, used a knife to cut Miss Gardner's throat. It is said that the deceased, Tanika Gardner, did not make a sound or a scream. But witness B heard a gargling sound, you know, like blood out. Yes. And then sitting there. Wow. You cannot write these things.
I wonder if you real. It just sounds so bizarre. Far-fetched.
Fictional?
Fictional. It sounds real to you, brother?
Yeah, people in dead, what you mean?
No, sir.
What do you mean, no, sir? And one thing I tell you, it's when people believe in something.
Well, I say believe, kill and believe.
Okay. That me I tell you, say. No, but I important then. I don't know that part of it. I just did see the article and say, alright, I just read it like. You remember that some children were at the church?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? People sit down and watch
Throat I get cut.
Archangel Gabriel cutting people's throat and people get stabbed on them back and eyes. But what the people then believe in him, Scotty?
It seems so. Like, truly believe.
There's a little thing when you stick me and I ask about it. Let me take off my glass.
Well, I don't answer you.
Tell me, man. You're a bright girl, you know.
Well, I don't answer you.
You never raise some other partner money when you go to school. I have been thinking. My head kind of on the bigger side. I think about some things from time to time. Some of these prophecies that he would have declared in church. Is it possible, say, some of them things there was set up, planned, orchestrated?
I think about it too. I think about it too. So let me say, for example, me have a prophesy, so you have a book you too. You set up something out there so for you do it. Correct? So when you do it, you come back and say, Pastor, you know, say, you have to true.
One of the things where people say they start believing in him is that in prophesy over a lady, son say, them going to kill him and be and them going to find one note say, baby killer beside him.
And
almost 2 or 3 weeks after that happened.
How coincidental?
Somebody used that word to me wrong way recently, you know.
Eh? Yeah, what you do?
Yeah?
What you do?
What me do? I never tell you a story. Yeah, man say coincidental, say, me and one person have the same surname. Me tell you about him. You receive them one from...
Oh, okay. Ciao.
No, that's a coincidental, but as I said.
We forget that the moment you say it. I swear.
I mean, I wonder, brother, because some of them things, brother.
As well, a caller the other night said the perfect thing. He said the man have the perfect way to make some money.
And he mash you.
And mash you.
Is that nice racket in there, man?
The caller was right.
The man make money, the man make money in multiple ways, you know, brother?
Multiple streams of income.
Multiple streams of income.
Because I never know say I not offer protection.
But me probably me overthink things sometimes. And I sit down to myself and I say some of them things are where me hear them prophesy and it happen. Is it so far-fetched?
Peter may say I think he used to do good work and then he got
greedy.
Possible.
Yeah, because some people say that, you know.
Possible, Peter may start drinking on a Kool-Aid. Me always say anytime you start drinking on a Kool-Aid, you're in a problem.
Remember we had that conversation many times now when you start believe say you're infallible, man. You're
in a problem. Problem will catch you.
But me just kinda, you know, I look for some things.
Feel a little bit
yeah, man, I look for some I say, yo, you know, say But so the children who were taken into state care after the field for sale. 14 Pathways children out of state custody.
Okay.
So 14 of the 15 children taken from the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries are now in the care of their families. One remains in state custody pending further investigation. Interesting.
Very.
According to the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, the decision to place the children with family members was made on Wednesday at a sitting of the St. James Parish, the St. James Family Court. So the children were taken into state care after the deadly October 17 ritual that they attended with their parents and relatives. So the Child Care Protection and Family Services Agency, Chief Executive Officer Rosalie Gage Gray says the agency's clinical psychologist will continue to offer psychotherapeutic support. Weekly visits will also be conducted as the agency tracks the progress of the children and continue their care plans. Additionally, Children and Family Support Unit will focus on their educational well-being and provide welfare support for the family.
Good.
Why?
They want provide support for the family.
Welfare.
Baby, they need it.
And them their church, them parents
But
their
maybe
church.
they're not sure now, friend. I can't, everybody in their church should have be a big girlfriend in the sir.
You have church with that where everybody have to pay their leave. A man tell us say you walk on him tithes and the moment you stop paying rent, you have to leave. You're deaf.
You're not sure.
I can not listen to you.
Okay.
Well, I guess some of them probably in a
What?
social and economic situation where they need that for choose the Lord.
But then we don't have no money, teacher. Remember, then give Pastor Kevin
All of their money.
Late
That are not
offering.
the most about church. You know, but,
Late offering. When next one name? The first I hear one.
that one there. Give them their own salary.
That
Pay
one.
for a month. Plus the 4 offering pan church service.
Yeah, buy that, teacher.
The bills to start it.
But you don't
$1,000
pay them
seed.
the offering. Then
regular
the Monday we
offering
don't
and
have no money. So what is offering that?
Alright, so they want to get welfare support.
Hmm.
Taxpayers have it rough in this
They might
place,
need
so.
it.
The unit will also organize parenting workshops to provide coping strategies, build self-esteem, and overall healthy parenting practices. They want only 2 people. No, another third. Something. What happened to Ruth Daly? I have been trying to figure out that, my friend. I have emailed her numerous times. But yes. Alright, there are some people who I'll have numbers for and stuff, and some people normally I email to communicate through. I know that she got COVID, but I think she recovered. But I haven't heard from her a long time now. I have emailed her quite a few times. There's another lady, Miss Bernadette George. She was one of my first moderators as well. Like she just disappear. Like I never have any contact number. It's just email. We normally communicate. Like she's one of them. She don't miss nothing. Like somebody will comment something like, hey, no, so some people sometimes used to come on, come church, come news. Like she not miss that. She then normally screenshot it as a teach. Yeah. Be careful. Keep an eye upon that person. And me don't know where she disappeared to, brother. I tell her, I message her with my email her quite a few times. Same thing with Ruel. So I don't know. But could them be them just leave a channel thing, for whatever reason? I hope that I hope them alright. You understand? Even if them not really support the channel like that no more.
They're alright.
I hope them good still. But both those 2 people, I try reach out to them because we only communicated via email. You understand? You know some people message and we have them on WhatsApp and thing or in a channel group or so, but I don't know. So yeah. Samuel, where are you with you? All is well? Police investigate death of 3-month-old in Trelawney. Then I know me right here article, you know, I just share some of them, you know what I mean? The Trelawney police have commenced an investigation into the circumstances surrounding last Thursday's death of a 3-month-old baby boy at his home in Troy District in Trelawney. 3-month-old. The dead child, who has been identified as Ian Omari Scott, has had tongues wagging in the rural community as it has been rumored that his death is linked to an activity carried out inside the house to prevent evil spirits from entering the house.
Here we go.
According to the Trelawney police, they received a report that last Thursday, the child was at home with his mother and other family members when the mother left him lying on a bed and went to the bathroom. Upon her return, the mother noticed that the child was lying motionless and she raised an alarm. Other family members rushed to the mother's assistance and followed following their failed efforts to revive the child, they summoned the police, who visited the home and found the child, who appeared to be lifeless. With the assistance of the police, the child was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead, and the body was moved to a morgue where a post-mortem examination is expected to be done to determine the cause of death. So the police stated that while they have no reason to suspect foul play, they have been hearing rumors in the community that the parents had engaged in an activity that could have harmed the child, hence their decision to conduct a full investigation, including requesting an autopsy report. We had heard rumors and allegations, but for now, we cannot point any fingers. We will just have to wait on the autopsy report. Then we will know where to take our investigation from there. So far, we have learned from the family that the child was not diagnosed with any kind of sickness, and that the mother only left him alone for a few minutes, so his death cannot be treated as just natural. Nor can it be treated as suspicious until after a post-mortem examination. Arlene Hyman, the child's distraught mother, told reporters that she was puzzled by the death of her child, as prior to her leaving him in the house and going to the bathroom, he appeared okay. So like the bathroom, like the outside bathroom. Should I leave him in the house and go to the bathroom?
Because down that side, possible.
I don't know what to say happened to my baby. All I do is just left him for a few minutes and go to the bathroom. And when I come back, I see him stiff out on the bed. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Jones, that it could be seeds.
Could be?
Seeds. So there you go, sudden death in infants.
Oh.
Yeah, there is a thing called
okay. Oh, I like that.
Me put me like that, sir.
Same time, I call my sister them, and when them come, I realize that the baby dead. Since the child's death, rumors have been circulating that the mother had lit incense in the room, which they say was to keep ghosts out of the house and away from the baby. We light incense in our house since I'm here born.
But I'm not saying incense in a kid. Unless you have some reaction to it. But I know that there's a thing where, so the infant death syndrome, SIDS.
Probably Jamila said that to me for true before, right?
Yeah, man.
What's true when I really to entertain anything? Sudden infant death syndrome. Yeah, man. But what normally cause it though?
I am not sure, but I know I would have heard of it happening.
I can imagine you 9 months pregnancy and then labor, then the baby just dead, so. But so Jamila said he wasn't in there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jam. So we know some incense light there.
Yeah, but I'm saying that is a natural occurrence because country here and try a country.
Right. They would like them look at incense.
Yeah, try a country. But for that causing death. But as them say, the autopsy will reveal what is the cause of death. If it's SIDS or any other trauma, the autopsy will show.
Because I remember once too, James it kind of.
Yeah. The autopsy will reveal what took place. That's the good thing about the autopsy.
Unknown cause suspected that placing baby and stomach can cause it.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
It normally happens when the baby sleeps on their belly. I think a belly share and normal baby is affected.
I said, let's say you put the baby to sleep on the back.
But now I want to put on a mirror on him belly still.
I'm a big old boy.
No man, from then time. Yeah man.
No man, I'm back in for sleep. And you see even when they're doing the cribs and have them all them fluffy thing, while they are fluffy to protect the child, you can also be setting up yourself to kill the child. Because it can suffocate. Because if a baby roll and get stuck in it, it might stay there and suffocate.
Me used to put on a mirror on him belly for sleep, and I tell him.
You know, take a long time for your baby suffocate, you left go a bathroom and you roll in it, but you come back. You have to go
it's recommended to put the child on the inside. He was watched like an ark though. He's with the Arctic there. There's a difference.
But that's sad though. 3 months old. Let's just say 9 months. You have your baby and carry on your baby and you think, you know, all is well.
That rough, brother.
Has to be. Yeah, you have to rough. I am baby there, you had a band for 3 months. And boops.
Wow.
No more baby. Then I always think about it and said, the women too who would have gone to the hospital to have the babies. You know, you set up nursery, you have everything nice and you have what do you call it? The baby born dead.
Stillbirth.
Stillbirth. I just imagine the trauma you feel because now you don't say you have to go and go pull down back in nursery because you don't have a baby. I guess the trauma that you must experience, especially when you know you did a baby where you did want.
You can't use this.
It must be traumatic. Sir, I don't want to go back home today. I want New York.
Would have been laugh.
True. Just thinking about it like it must be so traumatic.
It has to be traumatic.
That is one of the reasons.
There are going to be so many different things to trigger your memories.
I hate tap. You know, breathe it. Oh, that cancer.
Who tell you that?
No, you have people who say that.
Tell you that?
You have people who ask you how you not have opinionated, you know?
Tell them to tell you that when me did it.
No, seriously. And I say this, I mean not say it lightly either. You do not know what an individual would have gone through or is going through currently. You do not know the miscarriages. You do not know the failed attempts. You don't know. Leave people alone. Stop ask them. No ask them not no man. Make them stay.
If anybody think them bad, tell them to ask you what me did it.
Like why? How is that your business? Oh, you know I'm not picking it. Why you wait? Me now wait pan nothing. As a matter of fact, me wait pan your father.
But me ask you that sis.
No. Cho.
What you mean, Joe?
Sorry, you don't know nobody.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
But stop ask people, man. Leave it alone. Allow people. And I would have known persons that when they ask that question, sir.
They're locked down.
Sir,
emotional.
It puts them back in the moment of hurt.
Naturally.
In the moment of the trauma. Are you with your big mouth? Bo.
Alright, we don't ask us again, sis.
Me not tell you, whatever. You ask me that like every other day. Me laugh after you,
yeah, nah, give me a niece or a nephew, what you up to?
Yeah, you got that.
Carleen, James, if me take quiet.
How will you take?
Me don't know. Tell me I want.
Careful, you know.
And that's why we ask.
You just walk and take things?
Me not with that. That you know. Me don't do that.
Me don't know you feel me that.
Exactly.
But I mean,
so,
baby Carleen was
Empress Carleen asked me. If me take, me don't know what she had asked.
Yeah, that's a baby Carleen was something me don't know.
After feeding your child, it is recommended to elevate
and place on the side. That just in case the child carries back up the feed, it runs out and not suffocate. What that? I teach him
if you put a mirror on his side, it might roll up on his belly for an
Yes, I regularly make me dark up for myself. I'm not the new in life.
Scotty is quite fine. So we can finish this, you know. Babies at that age are very delicate and must be treated likewise.
That's
very
true.
sad for true,
Sad
Tyree.
situation.
So it's probably there now. Since the child, yeah, we said that already. Since the child's death, rumors have been circulating that the mother had lit incense in the room, which they say was to keep ghosts out of the house and away from the baby. They are of the view that the incense suffocated the child. Ask someone that question, how you do? They say now come off a girl in truck, James. According to the residents, a relative of the child's mother died recently and was buried in the yard. And it was that situation which sparked the decision to burn incense in the house. A claim the grieving family has flatly rejected.
Okay.
It's rough still.
My condolences.
Yeah, for rough, sis. Jaja.
Yes, I asked if Gavin Chuck still around.
If Gavin Chuck still around. The passport from time to time, man. I blow it hard and they sit there. Who we get on, get on. Oh boy. Wow.
When I see that? When I see that headline there?
Enough things I miss sometime, man.
What am I do this week? See, like a week past me, I'm not done. What did they?
FID flags 6 financial institutions and initiates probe.
Okay. Which 6? Call name.
Keith Darien, Principal Director of the Financial Investigations Division, on Friday served notice that investigations have been commenced into the operations of at least 6 institutions operating in the financial sector that are not in compliance with the law. He told a virtual press conference on National Anti-Money Laundering Day that the evidence would suggest that the operations of these institutions are being used to facilitate money laundering. We believe that a couple of these institutions may be prosecuted or they will have to be addressed from a point of the fixed penalty regime, which will include in the proceeds, which was included in the proceeds of crimes at poker in November of 2019. That's serious enough. Mocha and poker. And Mocha is an agency, while poker is a app.
Okay.
Yeah. He revealed that between January and October this year, the FID concluded investigations into 17 asset recovery cases involving criminal benefits or assets with an accumulated value of $1.185 billion and just over $182,000. This compares with 13 cases completed in 2020 with criminal assets or benefits amounting to Jamaican $300 billion and US $1.54 million. On an annualized basis, this year's figure represents an increase of 50% in the number of investigations conducted into asset recovery and a 130% increase in the value of criminal assets or benefits identified, which are subject to confiscation or forfeiture order. Of the 17 cases completed thus far, 8 involved persons who were convicted for drug trafficking offenses and 4 for lottery scamming. In addition, the FID has also identified assets including real estate, holdings, motor vehicles and bank accounts valued at over Jamaican $300 million, which it will pursue to satisfy the formal orders as they are obtained from the Supreme Court. 5 formal orders were granted by the court in 2021 amounting to $33 million. I'm tired. This long. And something about they're not telling any of my company.
Oh.
Agencies there.
What a way they know fun.
Jamaica will be on the FATF grey list for a while. Too much corruption. So as Kerry stated, that list is based on, I think, a perception of corruption, and I think it's probably linked to money laundering to them something there. Some local things.
Interesting.
Yeah, son. JC passes buck. Board rules Ruel Reid. Roll, you know, send it back basically. It's like a dice.
Okay.
See? So the Board of Jamaica College says it is now awaiting a response from the Education Minister, Favour Williams, after approving 3 recommendations regarding a request from a 5-year extension of special leave to Principal Ruel Reid, who has been, but we never talk about them didn't mention him, but we didn't talk about, who has been paid more than $11 million over the last 2 years. You see, this is a figure they kind of told people, because they think $11 million per year.
Okay.
Reid, who is now before the court on corruption charges, was seconded to the Education Ministry in 2016 as portfolio minister, but was forced to resign in March 2019 after allegations linked him to alleged wrongdoings in the Caribbean Maritime University. The Gleaners learned that the board has asked Williams to initiate a formal complaint to the board, pointing out that without such a complaint, it was powerless to act. JC, I try to show up them thing. So no complaint has been made to JC. So they are saying, yeah, so they are saying to the ministry that they need to lodge a formal complaint so they can proceed. It added that any such complaint should be supported by the facts, which are not known to the board, but only to the ministry. The second recommendation is that Williams exercise her power to withdraw Reid from the school, because the Ministry of Education has that power. If she decides not to proceed with either of these options, the board has recommended that Williams negotiate a settlement with Reid. If she decides not to proceed with either, so that already? The board has asked, yes, we never talked about them last week.
No, we
just
didn't
mentioned
know.
So there were three options.
Yeah, we didn't know the options.
So the board has asked the minister to respond by November 10.
Which is next week. Next week, Wednesday.
Today the 5th. November 10, ahead of the expiration of Reid's current special leave on November 20. Yeah. But 10 days before.
10 days before.
Knowing the ministry at 21st, I'm going to respond. Scotty, you know the ministry better than me.
Leave me alone.
After a lengthy meeting on Thursday night, the board unanimously approved a letter to the minister, which was emailed about 11 p.m. Very late
Harry J, she better sink or swim.
Me can't see why Ruel be extended, you know. Kiss me teeth.
Poor flavor, then just dash her in the deep end. Carry sink or swim.
In a news release, the board said that JC community was anxiously awaiting the minister's decision so that it could proceed to permanently appointing a principal to continue to manage the institution and guide the development of the school students. The board made it clear that it did not want to be forced into a position to either approve the special leave or alternatively allow Reid to resume duties at the school. Chairman Michael Bernard said that he was surprised at the remarks by the education minister in Parliament on Tuesday that the board did not send her any recommendation regarding an extension of the special leave to Reid. In the news release, the board stated, "We found this response from the minister after almost 3 months of discussion to be shocking, to say the least." He pointed out that the board did not have the power to dismiss Reid, as no complaint was made while he was performing his role as principal at Jamaica College.
Correct.
But you see, many people don't understand the things as they are. So they will blame this person and that person.
But correct.
The law is a fickle old lady.
And the law is the law.
Okay.
You know, say brother, I'm not shocked if him...
If he get the extension?
Yeah, I'm not shocked if Aaron get to be back principal. I'm not shocked.
That can't fly. He can't be back principal. That one, them not see happen.
They see extension.
They will grant him that. It cannot be that, based on the situation, Scotty, the powers that be sit and allow Ruel Adolphus Cornelius Reid to resume as principal up at Jamaica College. I have seen stranger things, you know. No. But I cannot think of a situation where that would be the best decision.
I'm not saying it would be the best.
I understand what you said. I just try to tell you, say, no.
Alright.
First thing, JC will not have it.
They don't want him. If you're blind,
Staff will not have it.
And you read
Students will not have it.
The
Old Boys Association will
they
not
don't
have
want
it.
him. You
Nobody will have it.
But then again.
And I am telling you this. You see, the JC Old Boy Association stamp their foot. It not going to work out with nobody involved. Because of them kind of keep the school where the school is. You understand what I'm saying? And that the Old Boy Association there, I don't know, Small Boys Association.
What did Mr. Reid do to them?
To who?
To them.
Them who?
The members of the board.
Who wants to get rid of him?
Yes.
They didn't do him anything. It is just the situation you don't want that to be associated with the noble institution that Jamaica College is known to be. If you did up on the board at JC, you then want Reid come up there, come up with principal. Alright, me answer for myself. Cause more time you don't want to answer, me ask the things. No. You understand? But knowing how these things operate, you know you can't just get rid of them like that. I don't saw you think up. Alright, the hardest thing one of the hardest things for doing a public for fire a teacher, you know.
I know that.
Alright. JC want to party to Reid. And the devil want to party to Reid.
Marriage.
Yeah, you confused me.
I did my job then. Bernard told the cleaner.
No. Yes. No, he responded before adding, sorry. I have to pull back on that because I cannot speak to that now. So they shouldn't publish it. If a man say I have to pull back, they shouldn't publish it. It's like I could do an interview and a man link me and say, yo, teach.
Cut out that.
I say a thing where, you know, safe, you know. But just cut it out and move. And a man now have to tell me.
Sometimes
when a man says some things and me hear, that can't go around.
You know if you have accent to come. But you don't know if time after the interview.
We have said that have to come on.
Brother,
and we know that long time. We know it can't go around. Enough time, I say man ain't comfortable in that talking. Enough things can't go around. But then a journalist here, they're not easy. Continuing, he said that prior to this week, the board had not done that. However, he did not provide further details. So according to Bernard, the board has massive restrictions and hindrances that prevent it from taking certain actions against Reid. Responding to questions from opposition lawmakers in Parliament on Tuesday last week, Williams said that it was the board of Jamaica College that had the authority to determine any action against Reid based on the education regulation.
No, yeah, sir.
Favor a pussyfoot running something.
Why? More don't want to be in a fair position.
However, not take a walk. However, the JSC board stated that any cause for a complaint during Reid's tenure as minister might be known to the current ministry and others. They're very careful of them word and things together. But without that evidence formally submitted as a complaint, the board is unable to take action with respect to terminating his tenure at Jamaica College. I mean, because it's public knowledge, but they have not been served any formal documentation or complaints.
That's what they're saying.
Basically.
Give it to serve us.
So, they're very wise.
Serve us and we can work from there.
And the thing with the JC, forget about even the board, the thing with the JC, old boy, a lot of lawyers would make up that, you know. Would be a part of that, you know.
So they're not just right like
No.
Every word is scrutinized, every comma,
every decision that they make, we go through the channels and the halls of discussion and things. So
that makes sense.
Yes, because you don't want to look like a fool with egg on your face. Tell me, I tell you, they must show up themselves that just in case the shit hits the fan, they have an umbrella. Mm-hmm. Bernard said that he was given the minister an opportunity to share the board's recommendations with the Prime Minister and their cabinet colleagues before disclosing them to the public.
Oh.
Fear, you know.
Very fair.
It's the Prime Minister, they give him special leave, you know.
But Bernard is very fair. You must give her time
to share with who care. Bernard said that the board was reminded on Thursday night that it received a letter from Reid on August 2 requesting an extension of special leave as well as some other matters. On August 5th, the board sent the letter to Williams and asked for guidance on how to treat with it. The board received a response from the minister on October 20th.
That mean a lie.
20 days later. But me just tell us
what I know. Too big.
But what I know, me tell then give them until November 10th.
Too big because the board got the letter the 2nd.
They know exactly.
And passed it on the 5th. And you wait till the 25th of October?
They know exactly what they might do. Don't a ministry.
That's too long.
Alright. Them get until November 10th. For respond. And November 21st. After I leave expire and they extend the JC a year back from them.
I don't like that.
Alright.
Shitty. I like that.
Look here, politicians can only do one thing,
The politicians.
and it's politics.
But I like that. Because they got it to show you how fast that board act, you know. So they got it the second. More than likely they meet, you know, have them discussion, maybe meet at 4 different times and pass it on by the 5th.
Yes, you can stay there and go and talk all you want to talk, say, you know. My wise on that, brother. You understand? Me a build a brand, you know. You understand? Me not run down likes and views, you know, brother. You understand?
And I demand that the uncut version
when
of
me
I
want
try
when me want interview a man, he must say, hey, teach them,
Me
and
see the
me see
shoot
the
up on
shoot
their
up the
road.
road. You're mad, man.
Yes.
See, and brother, the truth is that enough man, all of we do things where, you know, sometimes.
We're not proud of.
No, you see, and sometimes you say some things, and the heat of some things. Cause brother, I have heard some things during these interviews, you see? But you just know, say, you are going. Certain things just.
You know, put a road.
So, yes. Man, go here, man.
Yes, I mean,
But you demand that cut.
Yes, we are carrying up an interview.
Okay.
Right.
Bail extended for a Ruel Reid.
Yeah.
Fritz Pinnock. Then if a man there road, the bail must extended. What do you mean? What do you mean?
To when?
May I tell you that now?
Man, thief.
See him? The multi-million-dollar fraud case involving former Education Minister Ruel Reid, Caribbean Maritime University President Professor Fritz Pinnock, and 3 other co-accused was adjourned until March 9th next year.
Rotted. Excuse me, please. My apologies. What?
Teacher and people like Ruel Reid make Jamaica reach one grey list. People don't even understand the damning effect being on the list does to the country.
Okay. I forgot to look about the list there.
Yeah, man, she did that teach one at a time, you know.
I forgot to look.
But when they get round to learning and all that. So I kind of have a framework idea overview. Okay. Yeah, because she did kind of, you know, sensitize upon a few things one time.
Okay.
Until
March
9th. And then go back to court March 9th and November, August 9th again.
Then go back to August. I make 2023 March.
Boy.
Oh Lord, I'm on my bending knees.
We need you more and more in times like these.
I'm alive.
Oh Lord.
I'm alive, my brother. We need it.
Little ear upon them, man.
Oh man.
Reid, his wife Sharon and their daughter Cheryl, along with Pinnock and Brownstone Division Councillor Kim Brown Lawrence, are facing fraud and corruption charges in Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Their bails were further extended by the court. The accused were arrested in October 2019 for allegedly defrauding the Ministry of Education and the Caribbean Maritime University of millions of dollars.
How much are millions?
Boy, I guess some things not even discovered yet and I say you don't even know.
Okay.
But as me tell you, say, in my estimation, all the money that has been fleeced from the Education Ministry in that scheme is over $1 billion Jamaican dollars.
Yeah, man, we said that.
Alright, we continue. The matter was stalled as Reid and Pinnock are before the Judicial Review Court seeking to quash a ruling of Senior Parish Judge Chester Crooks in their fraud case. And me tell you, say, that technicality is that him and Crooks got manual together. The judge. But the judge did actually, I think, pass off the case, you know, but it must hear it one or two. Some hearing. So they must say he should not have because it's a conflict of interest.
Okay.
You see, Matt?
I'm not good at that, man.
Okay. You must get at that, man.
Look, one and one, I might end up with 4.
Teach them this is my last hope in the justice system, you know. I'm sitting and waiting on this case and verdict. What will it take for them to do what is fair and just like him, untouchable? I'm tired.
Oh, sister. Oh, sister Carrie. Yeah, right.
Yes, Speed, you can't say anything you want to say that. You're alright.
Speed
So
up
for
on
your
the
own media conglomerate then, brother.
bed.
You understand? So I mean, I feel no way about doing what I do, brother. None at all. Cause some things and everything good for talk. So you can't stay there. You understand? So when me mash up my little brother and you have 4-tier top sitter with chocolate cake I eat, you can't go and talk. Yes, we shall be there though. But we continue, yeah. So the matter, as we say, is in front of the Judicial Review Court. See? And thing. They are contending that the judge should not have ruled in an earlier matter because of a conflict of interest. Crooks and Reid are both past students of Monroe College in St. Elizabeth. Crooks had heard a preliminary objection from their attorney, Hugh Wildman, that the trial should not take place because personnel from the Financial Investigation Division did not have the authority in law to arrest or bring charges against the accused. On February 4th this year, Crooks disagreed and ordered that the fraud case should go to trial. Rightly so. But in the Monroe, in the hills of Malvern. Ah, boy.
So, hold on.
I tell you, if you add you for a long time, you say you can't talk to me.
No, it's
Ask me a
alright.
question.
No,
Ask me a
but
question.
no,
Ask me a
go on,
question.
go on. Go on.
Miss if yes?
Yeah, go on, listen.
Okay.
Go on.
Yes. In May, Reid and Pinnock filed an application in the Supreme Court seeking leave to go to the Judicial Review Court to quash Cook's ruling following the discovery that the judge is also a Monroe past student. In June, the Supreme Court granted leave for them to go before the Judicial Review Court. With the case before the Judicial Review still pending, a new date was set for the matter before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. The matter downtown is still in sort of a limbo, said Crooks. Meanwhile, the court also gave sufficient time for Brown Lawrence to settle her legal representation.
So why never excuse himself from the moment the matter come before him?
That's a very good question, and I cannot tell you.
Because, sir, if me and them proceedings and a matter for you come before me, may I have to excuse myself immediately?
Right, but
that would be the right thing to do. That would be the ethical thing to do. Excuse myself because you might find that me prejudice.
And this is a brilliant question. I have
even though I'm ruling, you know.
Right, he's not in favor of them.
He's not in favor of them,
right.
But
right.
Excuse yourself.
But this is it. For example, oh yes, there's this viral thing where this man appeared in front of a female judge in, I think, in the United States. And we used to go to school together. And she identified him and he break down and start cry. And think. But I think she eventually removed herself from the case. And him served him time, and when he was coming out, she went there to meet him and thing, and it was a whole thing, some viral thing. So him probably should have.
Enough time judges excuse themselves.
But Scotty. Why?
Even they're not ruling in favor of themselves.
Right, but
cause me like him ruling in. Don't get me wrong.
Alright, so you become a judge, right?
Yeah.
And you used to teach coming in a courtroom. Yeah, recruit yourself from the case.
Depends.
And what? You can't depend. So you see, use
No,
condition now.
Me need to recruit.
That's what I ask you.
Whatever it is.
You understand?
Enough case, then me not to recruit.
But it's all I'm trying to show without even saying that. Can it be that we have so many judges where I can recuse themselves from so many trials because you're not man used to go to school?
For them enough man, you never used to go to school. Then can recuse themselves in 1 and 2 cases that come before them.
You'll probably be surprised, you know?
Well, surprise me. I like surprises. Tada.
Because
Adolphus, what?
I don't even know, brother. But it's a good question. However, that said, you know, I have been always up in arms about the delayed tactics and thing. That G like me one time and said, teach, here we go. And the right way to do it. So whenever the thing go through the courts, there's nothing to say that them can appeal.
Overturning
yeah, man. So, you see me put up a sort of say that here, so when you start change how you look at things, the things you look at change.
No?
Yeah, man, because you like it on Instagram, Twitter, you're a fool.
You did that? Yeah. Stop trap me.
But brother, if you like my things, the power you like it. Zine, and me I say, after I said that to me, sit down and me I said, Jaja, you see me one time perspectives that hell of a thing, you know.
But that is correct.
While me not like it and you annoy me.
But me not get that JSN.
So when you exhaust all possible options
I will find you guilty.
and you find you guilty, there's nothing more for you to do. If we find you guilty. But that was his lesson that day. And I learned it very well.
Right now, if look like it a fade out. Fade away, fade away, fade away.
Meanwhile, the court also gave sufficient time for Brownstone to settle her legal, Brown Lawrence to settle her legal representation.
What do you mean?
She not a liar.
Could have who? Who is Brown Lawrence?
She did have lawyer man. Brownstone counsel man. She was charged in the whole thing. Her previous attorney, Ernest Smith, who had expressed a desire for the charge against her to be tried separately, has died. Yeah, man, Ernie dropped out a few months ago. So apparently she not lawyer up yet.
Okay.
But you know one thing though, Scotty? If I me and you did I work at Ministry of Maritime and we designed a scheme here.
Teacher, with their prison.
Long time.
I come in and a bake total.
I look on 35 to life.
With their prison long time. You hear what I say?
That's the regular man then get to know.
I come in and I bake total.
May I tell us so the case then go through the system already.
Yeah, bake total cover GP, then bake total.
I will try. But I send me over to GP, brother. You can go where you want, but I send me going to prison.
It's crazy though. It's crazy.
I better say, if Monka and FID find Grace guilty or anything, Grace got to prison for them.
No, gee, that is not sad. We're not sorry. Yeah.
Me no sorry for you.
We're not sorry for you.
Because them are rape youths them in the country.
Teacher. Oh, she figure before them and them in Ireland before.
Because she's a lesser light.
You
understand? Prayer light don't shine so bright.
That's funny though. That is
man?
not funny though. Because they been alive before her. She caught them.
You know, justice system.
Jesus.
It's an injustice system sometimes.
I don't know, sir. I don't know.
You know, man.
I don't. I tell you I don't.
Popcorn fined $10,000 for a traffic violation. I don't even know me I straight this in them, but okay.
I don't like I lost something.
Dancehall entertainer Popcorn was slapped. The man eat lobster tail dear than this. With $10,000 fine after pleading guilty to several road traffic violations in the Yala Traffic Court in St. Thomas on Thursday. Me find it strange saying plead guilty still, seeing that him did I say he ain't guilty.
How easy are we about that? You don't realize that?
He was admonished and discharged on the charges of no registration plates. And he was represented by attorney Matthew Hyatt. So the 32-year-old artist whose real name is Andre Sutherland was charged in late April after the police intercepted his 9-vehicle convoy in St. Thomas.
That should I not care, Kevin?
Why?
Big convoy,
In April, after being charged, Popcorn, who is the promoter of the annual Unruly Fest concert, took to social media to lament that he's being unfairly targeted by the police. However, Jamaican cops have since denied Popcorn's assertions, with commanding officer for St. Thomas, Superintendent Alison Byfield, claiming that the arresting officer did not even know the international dancehall singer. I lie that still. That's a lie. That is a lie. No police at St. Thomas. There's no police at St. Thomas with no Popcorn. That's a lie. Oh, man.
Even the police blind, you know, Papi.
Yo, where are we at?
The man plays to one and two.
Alice said, he arrested him instead of no Popcorn. I've never seen nothing like this.
Man, I know him, good.
If you don't know Popcorn, we don't know Popcorn.
Then you don't know him.
You understand? Because he come from St. Thomas, and I come from St. But Papi plead guilty and just get rid of it and move on. You understand? Ernest Wilson has died. You know, Ernest Wilson was one of the original members of the Clarendonians, which included the great Freddie McGregor and the works. He passed in the week. His son is expressing shock over his sudden passing. So Michael Wilson, the son of veteran singer Ernest Wilson, is reeling from the shock of his father's sudden passing on Tuesday after being admitted to the Kingston Public Hospital the previous day. The singer, who was one half of the Clarendonians, was 69. According to his son, the cause of death remains unknown. It is really a shock, Wilson said emotionally. Now, Ernest is music. He has never stopped singing. He has an album as well as a few singles out now. My father was in the studio working up to Friday, and then he started feeling ill on the weekend. I took him to the hospital on Monday because he was having breathing problems. His oxygen was low. But when the doctors tested him, he was responsive. I wanted to stay with him at the hospital, but the medical team said he would be given a COVID test, and then he was going to be taken to a special area. I did not sleep Monday night because I was expecting them to call me. As promised, they never called. Well, the call never came. Through his grief, Wilson shared the obstacles he had trying to get an ambulance from the Kingston Public Hospital to pick up his father at home, but none was available. And his stress trying to locate his father at the hospital on Tuesday after finally getting a call from the staff at KPH in the afternoon. I was calling the hospital from 7 a.m. on Tuesday, but got nowhere. And then I got a call a few minutes to 3 telling me to come because it was urgent. I kept trying to get details but couldn't. I hurried down there, and the staff at the hospital did not know who he was or where he was. I was told that he was up on the 3rd floor, but he wasn't. Finally, a doctor came to me and told me that my father had died about 1:52 that afternoon. I said, no, that is not possible. How could he be dead? I was not expecting that news at all, Wilson said. He explained that up to Thursday morning, he was still awaiting the results from the COVID tests his father had done. We are all curious about what caused my father's death. All his children are in contact with each other. He had 7 kids, but 2 died. So now it's just me, my 3 brothers, and 1 sister. Let me take this opportunity to express my sincere condolences to Mr. Wilson's family in their time of bereavement and thing. Interestingly, we had tried to schedule an interview with Mr. Wilson up to probably a week before, and thing. There were challenges. Scotty had been, communicating with him, but there were a roadblock or 2, and unfortunately it did not happen. And thing, but that's how things set up.
The week before last, I think.
The week before last, about them
I
time.
called him and we spoke.
So the interview was to happen, then it never did about to happen, then
it did for happen
then
again.
it did for happen, then it never did for happen, and then, as I said, there were a roadblock. You understand?
But,
so
condolences to the family.
yeah, man, same way, man. I mean, one thing,
Condolences to the family.
should have been good if we were able to document his journey and thing, but the thing go. So this must be rough for his family, kind of like him, it's sick.
Yeah.
And they're in the hospital for a period of time, and
One night.
so it think kind of rough. Boy, going to hospital these days is a mixed thing, The minefield look like would have stepped on a 1 grenade or 1 landmine. Kind of rough, brother. Yeah, but there's something used to come on, I think a turbo Spike, on cable channel named Spike. Named 1,000 Ways to Die.
10 times now you try to catch that one thing. I don't even know what it is.
And the hospital in Jamaica right now. Like I just said, they shoot the movie. There are 1,000 Ways to Die.
That's so mean.
True, brother. Look much. Yes, a man just in the hospital. They have some ailment, but I never done a death type of thing.
But you might go to the hospital for what you might consider to be a simple thing, and
it's serious, which is true. So fair enough. Fair enough. But one of the reasons why I said it like that too is the whole COVID situation and no bed in some place. I mean, it has improved now still, and everybody mix up and them sitting there.
No, it's not the time.
So I think now. So I'm trying to see what the hospital let me answer. And thing. So yeah, I think them said some 9 business on November 11. I don't know how that I go working on the current. Unless it's a day and night. A 9 day.
That me realize has been happening. I've been happening lately.
So auntie. Yeah man, so peeps.
Day and night settings.
Well, I'll call it this, so. I think my birthday is on Monday.
You're getting old.
Yeah, man, and you know, feel good enough. It's not a good feeling. That's me and me uncle.
Back pain and deep pain and core pain and
everything. You play football, cricket, volleyball, every sport.
Don't blame nothing past.
And what about injury, knee injury,
you're
ankle
just
injury.
Old.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
You come off you come off like calling a long time, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
And all of those injuries, when they get older, them kind of start
acting up?
Yes.
Alright.
So, you know what I think of. I
Oh,
still want to play some ball. Or all? 2 all.
You know me don't know you how much?
Me don't know me how much neither, so I told you I see him both.
You have birth certificate?
Yeah man, me get me one them man.
Alright, me find out how old and simple. How simple what's that?
Yeah, understand. You know my birth certificate thing or so.
Good or wrong?
Don't be surprised.
It just makes me look better.
Peeps,
Yes,
pick up
sir.
on yourself, you know. So, they are stream Sunday night, Monday night. I look at call-in stream, all the vibes. I don't even know what you're talking about. You understand? We're not talking on people business though. Chat people business for my birthday. And don't schedule no interview for Monday.
You're lucky. Come here and tell you, any person you say yesterday, you work for your birthday.
But they take the interview for my birthday, it's a big interview that I'm in our birthday next year, man.
I don't want to book you that morning and that day and that evening. I work in no business with you.
So I can't get a one day off.
Ain't that no pick.
Okay.
And I want somebody call me a morning and say, you know, say me have one of them name artists there.
Right.
Then I can work all day Monday, man.
We interview Berries for my birthday. And Jimmy Cliff and Cocotti. And Sanchez. And Halfpipe.
Enough people in the interview for
And
your birthday.
Pinchers.
Enough people then, sir. Because that
Freddie
list
McGregor.
gone up the road.
Leroy Smart.
Wayne Wonder.
Burning Spear. We anyone any day. Let me see that. Burning Spear. Enough people in the interview for my birthday.
We don't know you can go on like.
Ken Booth, we interview Ken already.
Mm.
Who else did I interview for my birthday? Enough people.
Sister
Stitchy.
Marcia.
Papa son, me interview Marcia already. But any day, I interview Marcia every birthday. Part 1 this year, part 2 next year. They sit there. You understand? Mm-hmm. Lord God, young youth are hiding age. Right, is your age? Is your age?
The Monday night is a calling stream, guys.
You need really to get berries, even though it must be hard.
This
Is
is
that
the
the
word.
word? There's the 3 B's, berries.
Needling a
Bojo, and bounce and leave it. I try all these people for interviewing our business. Some here, I don't know what it is, but one of them time. But yeah. So Monday night, all the vibes and thing. And I don't know, Scott is supposed to come because somewhere in a day or in an evening.
Back road.
There's nothing wrong with back road. Back road I make for dog. Back road, that's one of my friend named Yard.
You know what I hear?
You know what I'm referring to? Back road I Yard.
Back road, that could have been place.
Okay.
You understand? So you could have go there and see, but you go here, you know?
Okay, teacher. Good night. Peace. Big up on yourself. Anybody celebrating their birthdays?
In November.
Anytime, especially now.
Yes, Sneaks, you watch the new movie with Barrington
Big up on
Saturday.
yourself.
Good one.
Auntie.
Yeah.
You have it. Alright. Enjoy your weekend, guys. You know what I think, go? COVID still a key. That's all I left with you now. So when you take on the street, you still have it, you know what I mean? Be observant and do the things, because you know what I think, go? Oh! Turf, that is one of the subscribers. He not really comment like that still. He watch all the interviews them, but he was in the hospital suffering from COVID. He came out, I think, yesterday. Alright, today. I think yesterday. Because I've been, you know, the link, me tell me, say I'm in the hospital, me the link him the day after, the day after, the day after. No,
abroad.
Me live in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Auntie. So, you know one thing go. Auntie. Teacher, happy birthday from now. Come on, now, say Kerry Monday night.
Kerry, how dare you? You have to go pay a fee, Kerry. Turn up.
Pay a late fee. You understand? Auntie. Return. She looks a few days ago. Weekend to celebrate. And them something. So, me soon, Monday, interview premiere Tuesday. Monday? Yeah.
Tuesday.
The great Ken, man. Train is coming, baby.
Big interview
Train
Tuesday.
is coming now. Me didn't even hide that.
Yeah,
I don't hide that.
Yeah.
I'm not hiding that.
Ken Booth.
Teach,
Tuesday.
did you not remember mine? You never tell me when you're born, Kerry, so I couldn't remember. Me only see up my Instagram at some places. And people tell you happy birthday, so me know.
So you didn't say happy birthday?
No, she never tell me.
Whatever.
Yeah, understand.
Carrie, I'm in agreement with you then,
Me tell her in a stream after that, the happy belated birthday. Got it gone.
Yeah, I remember.
Peeps, big up on yourself. So soon on Monday and soon on Tuesday. You understand? Big up to the people and watch Richie Spice. I want to say Richie Spice interview there. I second time that I shoot it. I first time I shoot it. Then I couldn't hear myself now Richie when I edit. No, I didn't do that. I don't know what Scotty then do. You understand? Are you man? So alright. Me tell you what they said the interview was lovely. They did a great job. So when they do good, me if you say it good, and when it bad, me not if say it bad.
But that one is just weird.
But I still you back on camera. Yeah, Simon.
Asimo. That boy.
So if it good, me go on a credit.
That boy.
You understand? It was visuals were beautiful, the audio was on point.
Sorry, second one we couldn't drop it catch. Me no fool. Better you fire me. Come in a fire me too.
Please be tell her you're dangerous, you know. Alright, Kerry, I didn't remember. We can't just go like blame son. We saw the one. Yeah man, so that was the second run.
At Uche.
Shooting an interview for the second. I think the first run is always the most organic and real. But like all the Beanie Man one.
Yeah, the Beanie Man, the first one
was the better one. Was nice man,
yeah.
But you know what thing go? There were some issues with that too that I have to deal with it. Johnny P, I want to have a shelf too.
Oh, sure. When I do that.
I didn't know what happened to that one still. Too much connection. Yasos Safari interview mess up. You know when if you talk about Yasos, treat Yasos
the other day me think about it and say we were supposed to link back. But we didn't. Or we did, but we just didn't.
I tell him say mess up
and
thing. And whenever Burnley I said to slow down. Every week you're going to tell me that somebody will be Chelsea, brother. Calm down.
Peter, me go try a negotiation for your race.
Teach my daughter took a well-deserved break for the weekend from yesterday. Gone to celebrate. Yeah, man, tell her happy birthday. Zane, and Scotty going to negotiate a raise New Year.
Alright.
Okay, do that, man.
I like that. That doesn't sound bad.
You see me? So, I mean, and truth is, all the interviews since we upgraded gears has been beautiful. Mm-hmm. You understand?
They have been.
And things, so. And I feel look it, but we are learning still, so that's our next thing. You understand? Take my time out, and I look a break there and try and improve.
Which break?
Remember, so when I shoot an interview between July and October, man.
Oh.
Remember, September
before.
30th, first interview we shoot after July 39, you know?
Yeah.
29, July 39.
July 30?
Yeah, the 39 days of that July. Yeah, so that. Because I remember, say,
yeah, man, we did take a long
way.
way.
We did out and then, whenever I do nothing for a while, because we would have some Errol Dunkley.
Who that? I don't know. As you are going to tell me, I'm one big singer.
Big singer.
I know that's what you're going to tell me because
I'll be a big singer we interview one.
Person is a big singer.
Big artist.
That's your response.
Give people then credit. You try hold on the artist.
Me not hold on nobody.
Errol Dunkley a big singer.
Me not hold on nobody, but sometimes I have to ask you who that is.
Good night, Scotty Audley.
Good night, Kerry J.
I am so hurt, Kerry. How will I sleep?
Not good, I hope.
Big up on yourself. Yeah, man. No offer interview era one of them time there and thing. You know what thing go? Yeah, man.
I will leave a big artist there soon.
Yeah, man. I be a big artist there, man. Remember, I call out not for them name when I interview you since night.
I'm going to interview them, man. What does that time?
Hey, tell the people them good night.
Good night, guys. I see you on Monday night. What time we stream Monday night?
You know. About 8 o'clock.
9? 8. Alright.
Yeah, you can't stream 9. 8 o'clock.
Alright.
And then sitting there. Soda vibes. You can't drink liquor?
Oh, you?
Right.
Vodka. You can get Absolute and Trace with the ice.
Yeah, go drink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. You can't eat cheesecake?
I bake my own cheesecake.
Well, cheesecake if you get up.
Eat it off.
Everything good. That's the alright. Who said me now not to forgive you no time, you know? I realize when you have things to give me, when you get there, you forgive me in a reach to be. But everything alright, man.
Yeah, take too long to see you.
Okay, alright.
I see I must
Every day. Peeps, look over here. Walk good. Step with Jack.
Be safe, guys.
See you travel upon the gravel. I'm out.
Good night, Nix.
Thank you for tuning in. Like the stream before you go. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Remember to share the stream with your family and friends and browse the channel for more amazing content. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here. Warlord representing.
So, Peter, the stream that you used to dark before Scotty come here. Okay. Alright, I see alright, man. My God.
You really go about me,
Yeah, man.
Peter?
I feel over here, man. Like I'll be a dark stream used to there before you come here. Look more people.